I was just choosing skills that would match all my items, and it shocked everyone present. You know, even the top genius in the family. Most only awaken one talent, but I actually awakened 4. This is simply the ultimate genius in the family. Even my father was at a loss for words. It seems we'll need to teach him all 4 talents. In my previous life, I was the best swordsman in the Anthian Empire. When I was just 18, my mana broke through its core. He was the most promising among the Empire's 6-star knights. Just when I thought my life was about to take a major turn for the better, I unexpectedly met one of the 6 knights. A 6-star knight in the Anthian Empire, Duke Temerian, known as the Black Wave. At this moment, Eric looked incredibly weak, having lost a hand. What a pity for such a talent to end so soon. Tell me, do you wish to surrender? Eric's answer was clear. I was born on the battlefield, so I will die here as well. Even so, I can still see the regret in your eyes. You would have become a formidable opponent if you had grown a little more. However, if this is what you want, I hope in your next life, you will be able to let go of those regrets. Then the Duke suddenly attacked Eric, a single thrust piercing through my chest on the spot. I, who was known as a combat genius until this very moment, have fallen here. The scene changes. Oh, is our little Den awake? Haha, what a good boy. You're not crying at all. I thought to myself, what's going on? A voice next to me continued, my why are his eyes so clear and beautiful? This child is truly a gift from the gods. Haha, the little guy is a gift from the gods. What are you thinking? A child. What are they talking about? Come here, son. You must become a great spearman. I say. And follow in the footsteps of me, your father. This man is Akon Sores. Father, what are you talking about, dear? He will become a great assassin. This woman is Lily Sores. Come on, honey. How could you let our youngest become an assassin? That's horrible. A man should wield a spear. The spear is the most perfect and beautiful martial art. Lily replied, I've already said it, being an assassin is better than being a spearman. He can hide in the shadows to assassinate targets without being noticed. That's so much cooler. I thought to myself, that's right. I thought it was all over, but I've been reincarnated. Not only that, but I've been reborn in the Anthian Empire, my enemy's land, as the youngest son of a count. A woman's voice interjected, then let's do this. We'll teach him both. That settles it. He will definitely be an assassin. And lately my new parents, let him be a spearman. A spearman is the best. He will become an assassin. Have been arguing heatedly about my future. It's probably because I was born late that they're even more eager for me to follow in their footsteps. The servant beside them spoke up, Sir, we have arrived. What, we're here already? Now then, Lily, my dear, take my hand. What if people in the city see us? I just want to hold my wife's hand. What's wrong with that? All right then. Careful now. He thought, this is so cringy. Moving deeper inside, the surrounding scenery reflected straight into his dark eyes. Oh my, it seems Den is very happy to be home. Look how happy the little guy is, Den thought. That's right. If this is my home, then it will be even easier for my talents to be recognized. 2 months later. Abubu, love, da. Oh my goodness. My little Den is starting to babble. Den thought, so this is what babbling is like. It's certainly a new experience. Boo-boo. During my time wandering far from the battlefield, I rarely interacted with children. The few children I did meet were all injured, bandaged, and crying because they had nowhere to go. Many others cried for their parents, only to slowly starve to death and disappear. But compared to that, the Sores household is a wealthy and fortunate place. I won't starve to death here. Just then, someone else pushed the door open and entered, saying loudly, Ha! Den, look! This is a spear! Sweet. What do you think, Den? It's long and beautiful, isn't it? He thought, this man is my father, Akon Sores, the strongest 6th-level spearman in the kingdom. That's how he appears on the outside. But he's a heroic warrior known as the Green Cyclone. His mother interjected, Really, how could you bring something so sharp into our child's room? The father replied, I just wanted to show it to Den. I already told you not to do that. Den's thought, she was once the best assassin in the Lily Sores kingdom. If you keep doing that, I'll teach our son the basics of stealth from a young age. Den's thought, yes, and this is my mother, the one who just raised her voice, an assassin no one would suspect. My old man continued, Come on, everyone's like that these days. Famous magic families also place a magic staff right next to their child from the moment they're born. Comparing a spear to a staff, a spear that's sharp. Den's thought, you'd think we were a harmonious family. The reason they're so concerned about my future is because my two older sisters both chose paths completely unrelated to spearmanship and assassination. The scene changes. Look, Den, if you do this. Tada, your cheeks will puff up like this. Abu-boo. This girl is Arabella Soares. Look up. So cute, right? Yeah, my cheeks. Because of her talent for magic, Arabella has followed the path of magic since she was little. At 5 years old, she was already a level 3 mage. Since the highest level for a mage is level 9, she's a genius for having passed the entry level at this age. Arabella continued, So do you want to learn magic with me later? I'm tired of having to study alone every day. Den's thought, don't. Stop poking me. But summoning is cool too. This girl is Clara Soares. Clara is a talented summoner. She knew how to summon since she was 7 and can now control 2,000 summons at once. Clara's eyes show a hint of confusion, so she put on a pouting face. At first I thought she didn't like me, but it seemed more like jealousy of having a younger sibling. She's also become less shy with me than before. Why are they so soft? Den, if you have a talent for summoning, it'll be so much fun. I'll teach you later. Den's thought, Everyone wants to teach me their talent. A family photo is shown. My father, a level 6 spearman. My mother, a former assassin who once tried to assassinate the king. My eldest sister, a genius mage, and my second sister, a genius summoner. The Count Sora's family. What a perfect noble family. Also an ideal family. That's what I imagined. In this life, revenge has no meaning anymore, even though my death there was so tragic. That place was a battlefield. To say that I will take revenge on those who defeated me. How ridiculous. The scene changes. At this moment, voices are heard arguing. Spearmanship. Why choose a spear? Stealth and assassination are more useful. No, magic is the trend these days. Summoning is good too. Den's thought, I've always wished I had a home. I'm so lucky to have been born here. What a harmonious family, right? The Soares family has a special ritual, the choosing ceremony. When a child in the family turns 1 year old, many objects are placed on a table in front of them. People will guess the child's future based on the object they choose. The others are chattering excitedly. It's the young master's first birthday today, isn't it? The young master is already 1 year old. Time flies so fast. The young ladies became a summoner and a mage, right? I wonder what the young master will choose. We'll know after the ceremony. Let's go inside. A moment later, everyone had gathered inside the hall, and in front of them was Den's family. Oh, the young ladies brought their items this time, too. Oh my, how adorable. When did they get so big? Den, just pick whatever you like. Okay, Den's thought. Ugh, what am I supposed to do? Everyone must be expecting me to choose their item. Everyone's thoughts. The little one Den will surely be drawn to the dragon's tail. A dragon's tail spearhead made from rare Orchidium grand. When infused with mana, it becomes as heavy and sharp as its master's mana. A mystical magic spear. This is the spear I've used my whole life. Son, choose your father's spear. The boy is too handsome to be an assassin, but Den will still choose the dagger. Nocthon made from Orc Etherin, which gathers all the elements in the world. It can hold and combine many different types of poison. Den will definitely become a great mage. He'll follow me to the academy later. A spatial pouch, an item only mages or those with magical talent can use. Little brother, hurry and choose my pouch. If Den learns summoning, I'll let him fly on the back of my dragon. A summoning seal. A summoner uses this seal and receives a pact. Depending on their talent, they can use it to call forth their summons. That's my dream, little brother. Den's thought. Oh crap. Why do I feel like I can hear their thoughts? Sighs. Ugh, this is so annoying. But I can't avoid it. Which item should I pick? That's right. I'll look at everyone's expressions and then decide. The crowd murmurs, ooh, the boy is choosing. That's right. Go on, Den. Choose what you want. If you're going to choose, pick something long and hard. No, something short and sharp is better. That pouch is my favorite. Remember, I showed it to you. Den, let's go do the summoning with your sister. He crawled closer to the items, and suddenly they all started to glow. Den thought, what's happening? Wait, Lily said frantically, cutting in. What's wrong? Aegon continued. I don't know either. Den, did everyone else see that? All 4 items are reacting. Oh my god, how is this possible? It seems the young master is an all-powerful genius. He thought, I was already a prodigy on the battlefield. But this life is on a whole other level. Arabella spoke up, Father, what should we do? Nothing like this has ever happened before. The father replied, I can't believe it myself. Then, how about the 4 of us teach the boy? All of them, hearing this, Den let out an amused smile. Sometime later at the training grounds. Excellent, Den. You've completely mastered the techniques I taught you. Thank you, Father. At this time, Denso Grace is 7 years old. Very good, very good. That's my son. Looking in another direction. Father, another person approached and spoke. Herbert, sir, I've brought it. Ah, yes, perfect timing. Father, is this? Aegon continued. That's right. It's your birthday present. I was originally going to give it to you during the party, but I wanted to give it to you early. Here, take it. I've been preparing this for 2 years. This is a spear crafted by a famous artisan in the capital. Happy early birthday, Den. Thank you, Father. I'll take good care of it. Den thought, this is amazing. The black shaft combined with the silver spearhead is absolutely beautiful. Yes, and it's so light, too. The father continued, so do you like it? Yes, I love it. Good. I had it specially made to fit your physique. So try to get used to it. Den looked up happily, swinging the weapon around. Aegon, standing beside him, also smiled to himself. Den, do you remember the difference between a spear and a sword? Den replied, a spear's length helps me keep opponents from getting close, and the small point of contact increases its attack effectiveness. Exactly, but once you reach a certain level, it becomes harder to use than a sword. This is the fundamental problem with a spear. To attack an opponent, you're forced to maintain a minimum distance. But don't worry. Every weapon has its own strengths and weaknesses. Even the sword, which is considered a perfect weapon, yes, is at a disadvantage in some situations. Yes, I'll remember that. In that case, since you have a new spear, I'll show you something interesting. He thought to himself, so this is the mana of a level 6 spearman. Just the mana radiating from Father is already this overwhelming. At that moment, Aegon focused, closing his eyes tightly. In the next second, he thrust his spear forward. This made Den's eyes widen in surprise. Incredible! He just thrust the spear forward. He continued speaking. The reason the space here is distorted is because I released the mana in my body and thrust the spear at the same time. This is a technique that optimizes the core's characteristics by focusing mana in a single spot. I see. I've also heard my sister say that humans can surpass their physical limits. As the number of cores increases, those limits expand. He thought, in my past life, I had 4 cores. That's right. You catch on quick. Your father has 6 mana cores. Yes, 6 cores. Den thought, if I hadn't died, I probably would have reached this level too. The father continued, why don't you give it a try with your new spear? Yes, Father. Relax your mind, forget everything you're thinking, and just thrust the spear forward. Hearing this, Den's expression gradually changed, and he immediately did as he was told. In his past life, after realizing his talent for swordsmanship, he lost all interest in the spear. He only used it as a backup. All right, time to use all my strength. Aegon thought to himself, his stance is quite good. It took me 7 years to perform this technique. With Den's talent, I wonder if the boy... Suddenly, the space was torn apart by the energy that Den released from his spear. It's emitting sparks of lightning. Den, how did you do that? I'm truly astonished. When I thrust the spear, I focused my mana at a single point and channeled it into the spearhead. When the mana reached the spearhead, I stopped the flow. Wait, you channeled mana into the spear and then cut off the flow. So, you created a mana core. Yes. While reading a book on how to create a mana core, I tried practicing it, and I was able to do it. Den thought, actually, I created it while practicing mana breathing. The father continued, creating a mana core just by reading a book. Our family has truly produced a genius. I've sensed it since he was a child, but now I'm completely certain. One day you will become an outstanding warrior. I wonder, will my son truly become a summoner, an assassin, a spearman, or a mage? On the 7th birthday of Den Sogris, the youngest son of the Sogris family, everyone gathered together. They held a joyous banquet, laughing and joking. "Ha ha ha, Aaron, it's been a while," Aaron replied. "Duke Butte, have you been well lately?" "Oh my, there's no need to be so formal. Just speak casually." This man is Butte Thermion, head of the greatest family in the Anthean Empire, Duke Thermion. He then quickly moved closer and whispered in Aiken's ear, "Many people are watching us. I'll act normal in a bit. Ha ha, whatever you say. By the way, where is that kid? Den, come here and greet Duke Thermion's son." Den thought, Duke Thermion, I can't believe I'm meeting him here. "So it's this kid. So this is the son you're always bragging about, huh? My name is Den Sogris, sir." Den thought, I can't suppress my anger seeing him again. "It is a great honor to meet you, Duke Thermion. Your son is very well behaved. It seems the boy has never caused you any trouble. So he's learning the spear arts like you, isn't he?" "That's right." Suddenly the two men were startled as they looked at the person approaching. "Greetings, Count Sogres. This girl is Leola Thermion, the youngest daughter of Duke Thermion's house. My name is Leola Thermion. It's a great honor to meet you, sir." And so, the party continued. Everyone was happily talking and laughing at the party. Aiken spoke up and asked, "I was wondering, how has your wife been lately?" Butte replied, "I've tried everything, but there's still no progress. You've been through a lot, but I'm sure your wife will get better. If you suddenly don't see me, please understand. I'll have used magic to quickly return to the capital. By the way, where did that boy Den go? That kid is quite bright. I wanted to talk to him a little more." Aiken replied, I don't know either. I don't see little Leola anywhere either." Elsewhere, it seemed the two children were bored with the party. "Actually, I don't like having to follow my father everywhere, but now I'm glad I came with him." The girl thought, "He looks even more handsome under the moonlight." "That's great. Our domain is a very beautiful and peaceful place." The girl continued, "It seems so. In Thermion, there's always something going on. Every day, nobles come to see my father. Sometimes even the royal family shows up. Every time that happens, I have to go and greet them. I hate it. I'd rather wear simple clothes and practice swordsmanship." He thought, "Oh ho, so she uses a sword. What about you?" I like it here. It's not as bustling as the capital, but every day I look forward to my spear practice." "A spear? That's right. I forgot that Count Sogris's nickname is the Blue Cyclone. I've heard my father talk about how talented he is." "So you want to join the academy?" Den replied, "No, I'm not practicing the spear for that reason." The girl asked again, "Why? Isn't it natural to train in order to join the academy? It's very difficult to get in." "Well, I'm training so that when I do get in, I'll do even better." "But what if you fail to get in?" "Then I'll just try again. And if you still fail, I'll just assume that path wasn't meant for me." The girl continued, "I don't believe you. Aren't you afraid of disappointing your family?" "Not really. I'm so jealous. In my family, failure is considered a disgrace." Just forget what I said." He thought to himself, I didn't know a noble family would worry about things like that." Stopping his thoughts, Den let out a long sigh and then said, "Why do you think that you seem very skilled?" "Really? In that case, could you take a look at my swordsmanship?" "Your swordsmanship, that's right." Den replied, "All right then, but just for a little bit." "Great. Where can we practice? Follow me. It should be fine for a little while, right?" A moment later, the girl immediately began performing her sword forms and skills. In a corner, Den was also watching her every move, thinking deeply. Wow, her offense and defense are very fluid. Her strikes are also well-timed, but after a while, her rhythm gets a little messy. "So how was it?" Den replied, "It was amazing, truly a sight to behold." Hearing that Den could only give an embarrassed laugh, thinking to himself, maybe I should tell her. He continued, "Yes, but starting from the third stance, weren't you off by half a step? But as I recall, the other stances are like that. Because you're consistently half a step ahead of where you should be, your subsequent sword strokes are slightly off target." The girl thought, was I too nervous? Den continued, "Sorry if that upset you." "It's been a while since I've seen a sword glow like that," the girl added. So that's what it was. The missing piece. "Thank you so much, Den. You really have a sharp eye. You immediately spotted the mistake I've been making all this time. Thank you. I'll be sure to remember this." Den replied, "You're embarrassing me. And Could you put the sword away now? Oops, sorry. Why is she suddenly hugging me, he thought. At the same time, another person rushed in frantically calling out, Young Master Den, where are you, Miss Leora? Looks like they're looking for us. We should go back. Oh, there they are. Where have you two been? We've been looking all over for you. Happy 7th birthday, son. Congratulations on awakening your first mana core. Happy birthday, Den. Thanks, Mom. As he opened the gift box, Den's eyes widened in surprise. This is, he asked. He thought to himself, a pin with the family crest. It's what your sisters are always showing off. Take good care of it, Den. This pin is proof of your honor and your status. Happy birthday, young Master Den. You've finally been recognized as a member of the Soars family. You've become as talented as the Count himself. Listening to this from a corner, the couple smiled to themselves. This is the first time I've been praised by so many people, he thought. Just then, a violent tremor from outside sent everyone into a panic. What was that noise? What's happening? Damn it, an intruder. Father, calm down. There's no need to panic. It's starting again. And I thought we'd have a quiet day today, the mother added. Do you have any idea who it is, dear? He thought to himself, it can't be. From the ceiling above. Just then, a magic spell was quickly cast, causing everyone at the party to look up in panic, shouting, What is that? In the next moment, a figure emerged from a spatial rift and slowly descended to the ground. Look at the time, little brother. Your big sister isn't late, is she? The others began to whisper, It's Lady Arabella. I think you're right. Did she just use teleportation magic? Wow, I heard you have to be at least level 5 to do that. A small teleportation gate, but still, Our Lady is a true genius. She's as loud and flashy as ever, he thought. At that moment, people looking outside screamed, There's a monster in the sky. Oh my God, it's a monster. This time it's Lady Clara. Looks like I'm a little late. Pushing the door open, Clara stepped inside, and the others immediately began to whisper, I hear she's a genius summoner. But to tame a wyvern, isn't she only 16 years old? You're here. Yes. Standing in front of Den, the two sisters said in unison, Happy birthday, little brother. Holding their gifts out to Den, the two girls spoke. I hope you have a very happy birthday, Den. Me too. Thank you both for coming all this way to celebrate with me. Of course we had to come, Arabella chimed in. Now, open your present. I'm sure you'll like it. You two only gave me a letter for my birthday, but you prepared real gifts for your little brother. Hey, isn't this a spatial pouch? Exactly. I designed it myself. It uses the highest level of applied spatial magic. Well, my professor made it, actually. Den replied, Thank you so much, sister. He thought to himself, I know just how difficult it is to engrave spatial magic onto an item. Just how difficult it is. Arabella continued, Give me your hand. Let me put it on for you. But what's even harder than that, he thought, is designing an artifact that can withstand such a magical engraving. Arabella continued, Just so you know, I've already embedded your mana signature into it, so no one can use it but you. It's a one-of-a-kind item. Lily beside her added, Judging by the faint mana waves, it must have a highest-grade magic stone inside, right? If you channel a little mana into the ring, it will create a subspace. That way you won't have to bother with an inventory bag anymore. Something this valuable. Thank you so much, sister. Den thought, this is the kind of item only the wealthy can afford to use on the battlefield, like noble commanders or archmages. I never thought I'd get to use something like this. Holding his finger out, Den tried to activate the magic circle from the ring. Arabella added, the ring will also resize itself as you grow up. So don't worry. At that moment, everyone nearby stared in astonishment. You opened the subspace even faster than I can. You really are a genius. Den, you're truly amazing. The father said he might even surpass both of you now that he has his core and mana circle. Here, Den, open my gift now, too. Yes, thank you. He looks at the egg inside the black box, picking it up to examine it. Why this egg? Clara beside him explains. It's not just an egg, so you have to be careful with it. Then what is it? Listen to this. Everyone stared at Clara with bewildered eyes. Clara leaned in close to his ear to whisper, It's a familiar. I tried summoning you, Decolean, and this appeared once. I don't know what kind of summoned beast will be born from it, but I do know that everyone in this world knows just how valuable it is. Leaning close to the egg, an image from his memories surfaced. That's right, I've heard of this before. A familiar, different from a summoned beast, another kind of entity, though they have some things in common. A familiar that once summoned can exist in this world forever, unlike a summoned beast. Yes, Clara continued, no one knows about it yet, Decolean, only you. So please keep it a secret until it hatches, okay? Yes, of course. Arabella, standing nearby, chimed in. What are you two whispering about for so long? Clara continued, even I don't know when it will hatch, so remember to channel your mana into it every day, once in the morning and once at night, so that it can recognize you as its master. Yes, I'll definitely do that. Haha, look at all these wonderful gifts. It's so good to have your sisters back, isn't it, son? Yes, mother, it really is wonderful. Ahem. All right, my princesses. While I am very happy that you were able to return, even though you said you couldn't, shouldn't you also greet your parents? Ah, father, have you been well? I was so focused on giving Decolean his gift that I'm sorry. It's fine, it's fine. You all seem to be healthy, don't you? Traveling such a long way to see your youngest brother. Make sure you get some good rest. Yes, father. Not far away, a girl's envious gaze watched Decolean's family gathered happily together. This made his eyes widen slightly in surprise. He glanced to the side. Leola, is she leaving now? But why does she look so lonely? The scene changes to another location. The man thought she's even more wonderful than I expected. Just as expected from the Academy's best mage, a truly precious talent. That girl is also a perfect match for my son, the Academy's best swordsman. If our two families could be joined, it would create a power that not even the imperial family could easily touch. Then no one would be able to scheme against my family and descendants anymore. All right, I should bring up the engagement between the eldest children of our two houses. During our conversation today, what's that sound? Are they busy training? Who would be training this early in the morning? Elsewhere, Decolean was training diligently, continuously unleashing skills as he aimed and threw his spear. Just as he arrived, Booth stood watching from the side, thinking to himself, oh ho, the youngest son of House Sogris, haha, what a surprise. His movements and concentration are nothing like that of a 7-year-old boy. Even his simple thrusts are at such a masterful level that even soldiers who have been through countless battles could learn from them. It's truly unbelievable. I'd heard rumors about him revealing incredible talents when he was only 1 year old. I thought they were just empty words, but I never expected them to be true. Shifting the stance of his feet, he immediately used another skill. Wait a minute. That stance and footwork are very similar to a swordsman's. Don't tell me he's already learned swordsmanship at such a young age. Raising his spear high, Decolean spoke coldly. I don't know who you are, but you'd better show yourself instead of skulking in there. Damn it, Both thought. I've been discovered. More importantly, Decolean thought that movement. It's incredibly familiar. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. The man spoke up. My apologies, young man. I didn't intend to spy on you. Ah, it's you, your grace. The Duke. Looking at his eyes, the man thought, I can tell he's no ordinary child. I am Decolean of House Sogris, the youngest son. Greetings, Duke Booth Thermian. I was so engrossed in watching the beautiful training of Sogris' rising star this morning that I lost track of myself. You'll forgive me, won't you? I do forgive you, sir. Ho ho, the man thought. This kid's got guts. Now that I'm looking closer, how is it that his body isn't trembling in the slightest? Even after training for so long. When I was his age, I didn't even have a mana core. Booth continued, your thrusts are excellent. You've certainly inherited your father's talent. The spear you're holding. That's right. Someone told me that my father went to great lengths to prepare this spear for me. I'm very grateful that you recognized it. Smiling faintly to himself, the man thought, that's the perfect answer. My son, even in my past life, had excellent skills and manners, but not to this extent. Perhaps I should consider arranging a marriage with this family. He continued, actually, my Leola is also practicing swordsmanship. Yes, since you two are the same age, you could become good friends when you enter the academy. Yes, sir, I'm sure I'll get along with her. Ho ho, I like your straightforward personality. Young man, in any case, it seems I've disturbed you during your training. Well then there's something I'm curious about. Have you ever practiced with a sword before? He thinks, oh no. It seems my old habits have shown themselves without me realizing it. It's surprising that he could tell just by looking at me once. He continued, no sir. I've only read a few basic swordsmanship textbooks, but I've never actually practiced with a sword. Is that so? He thought. That's strange. I swear I felt something from him earlier, like a pure battle-hardened spirit. Ha ha, what am I thinking? There's no way. He's just a kid. He continued, oh my, I only intended to take a short stroll, but I've been out for too long. Well then, it's time to say goodbye. I'll see you again later. Yes, sir. I wish you a safe journey back. All right. If you ever have the chance to visit the capital, be sure to look for me. I must repay the hospitality I've received here, at this Count's castle, and because I've taken a special liking to you. Of course, sir. He thought, how interesting. I wonder if he'll remember me. The thought of defeating the man who once defeated me? It makes my blood boil. If I prepare now, step by step, I can definitely do it. Butter me in this life, I will definitely defeat you. Scene change, young master. It is time to go back. Herman, have you been waiting for me all this time? It is my duty to silently attend to your every need. Ah, thank you. He thought, maybe Herman should study assassination. I mean stealth. He's got a talent for it. He continued, so how are things? Everyone's pretty busy, aren't they? Yes, they are. It seems everyone is busy preparing for the next banquet, and it also appears that other nobles are already on their way here. After all, it's difficult for over 30 noble families to arrive on the exact same day. Oh, right. How are my sisters? He replied, they opened a teleportation gate together and have already left for the academy. They said they had no choice as their midterm exams are coming up. That's a shame, but it can't be helped. Let's head back. Yes, young master, he thought to himself, when I have time, I should check out the gifts. I can only wear the things my sisters gave me, party after party, and I have to try and greet all the guests. Living the life of a noble is so exhausting. My schedule is even more packed than usual since it's my birthday. At least I can find some peace resting in the garden like this. The gardener who tends to this place is really skilled. I feel strangely at peace when I see these flowers. My eldest sister said that in nature, flowers contain the most mana. When I have the time, I should definitely analyze the mana in these flowers. I've practiced as much as I can, but neither my magic nor my summoning has shown any significant progress. I'm still not sure which one I should focus on. Having too many talents can be a hassle sometimes. The mana of the flower. To think such a small flower could contain such a large and intense flow of mana. If a person could sense the mana in nature and make it their own, then after that, it would settle inside that person's body and become a layer of magical power. The mana attraction of this body is incredible. I can see things that other people can only sense with their sixth sense. There it is. Before I could only vaguely sense mana, but now I can perceive it much more clearly. He clenched his fist, and the space around it immediately distorted. Another voice spoke up. What just happened? Ugh, I'm so bored. We just got here, and Dad's already busy talking to the other nobles. He's completely ignoring us. Let's just show our faces so everyone sees us, and then head back to the lounge like last time. Can we even do that? You're acting like it's our birthday or something. Who the hell cares? You think the young master of the Sogris family is going to care about something like this? Damn it. I think we're lost. Why the hell would they build a garden this big? Hey bro, there's someone over there. Wonder if that kid's lost too. Hey you, those clothes. You're a servant, aren't you? Whatever anyone will do. Hearing this, Den's angry eyes slowly turned to the two who had just spoken. Lead us to the exit and hurry it up. Den shouted, Hey, get off of there now. Can't you see what you're stepping on? The other boy replied, What did you say? Why is this kid yelling at us just for stepping on some grass? Den retorted, Why are you walking on the flowers instead of the path? You've ruined that entire flower bed. The brown-haired boy scoffed, You're small, but you've got a big mouth. Do you have any idea who I am? Of course, you're the brute who's destroying the flower bed. A brute? Who do you think you're talking to? You servant, I am the son of Count Tyran, an honored guest of this castle. Den thought, Count Tyran? He's the noble who was captured after I defeated him on the battlefield. He was an incredibly unpleasant noble, like father, like son. The brown-haired boy continued, even in the southern countryside, you must have heard of House Tyrann, right? We're famous in the capital, you know. My family can make someone like you disappear without a trace. So you'd better watch your mouth. Den thought, talking to this guy is pointless. The boy continued, are you insane? A lowly servant like you dares to look at me like that. While the boy was still stunned, Den immediately headbutted him hard in the face, causing the younger brother beside him to scream, Bro, are you okay? This psycho, what the blood? My nose is bleeding. I'm gonna kill that bastard. You're gonna kill me. Go on, give it a try. Have you lost your mind? Fine, let's settle this. Bro, worry about your nose first. Den stood there easily dodging with just a slight glance at the boy's movements. Damn this tricky little brat, Den thought. Looking at his footwork. He's definitely not a weapons user, so is he a mage or a summoner? Nearby, the younger brother shouted in a panicked and confused voice. Bro, this kid's too fast. You can't catch him, Den thought to himself. That flow of magic I saw earlier. If I can control it with my will. So couldn't I just turn it into a physical form? Should I give it a try? Den held out his hand, and immediately a palm strike sent him flying. He flew 10 meters, spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. Den thought to himself, oh no, the flower garden is ruined. Damn it, he can use magic. Who are you? Brother, stop. If you keep this up, something bad is going to happen. Stay out of this. I'm going to kill that bastard. Hear my call. In the next moment, he unleashed the mana within his body, making Den's eyes widen in surprise. He's a million-class summoner. From a spatial magic circle, a wolf gradually appeared. Ha ha ha, how do you like this? This is Genbu, my summon. I'll show you what happens when you mess with this Digron Tyrann. Genbu, tear that guy to shreds, go. Den thought. A mere wolf, can't even compare to Sister Clara. She can summon a dragon after all. The other guy continued, that's right, bite that dog's throat out. Step by step, he advanced on the wolf, his eyes filled with anger. Suddenly, the wolf's expression changed. It quickly turned and moved to stand right beside Den. This made the other two jump in utter shock. What's going on? How did you... Genbu, what are you doing? Get over there and rip that bastard's throat out. Brother, is it... wagging its tail? Ugh, what did you do? Genbu, good boy, Den thought. You think this is... How could this possibly be happening? Come to think of it, even Sister Clara's summons are pretty friendly with me, but I'm just... Because I share her blood. Besides, this situation has nothing to do with that. Maybe I just have a high affinity, but that also means that Bastard's affinity has hit rock bottom. This is ridiculous. How can a summoned beast betray its own master? So you want to keep going, you little brat? Brother, just give up. We lost. Her brother replied, Shut up. I'll just cancel the summoning spell. Brother, actually... She heard something. His gaze shifted to his younger brother's pants, which were now soaking wet. Damn it, this is so embarrassing. Den said, Hey, listen. The bathroom is on the first floor of the main building. You wait right there. I'll be back. Let's go, Dina. Den thought. Hey, at least take your summon back with you. Actually, it was pretty simple. Just like Sister Clara taught me. I found the faint connection between that bastard and Genbu, and after carefully overriding it with my own magic, Genbu connected to me. To think I have no real connection to the art of summoning, but I could do it just because of my high affinity. Just then, a voice spoke up from nearby. Is that the brat who is bullying you, son? Yes, that's the bastard. Den thought to himself, that idiot had to go and make a big scene. He didn't just bully me and Dana. He also severed my connection with Genbu. My name is Mogat Kiren. I am the head of the house of Count Tyrann, one of the great noble families. So you're the brat who did this to my son's face and stole his summoned beast from him. Yes, that's right. Den thought, he looks fatter than when I took him prisoner. Peace really is a wonderful thing, isn't it? As you are a guest, I was prepared to overlook this if possible. But this is something I simply cannot ignore. Why are you in a place like this all by yourself? State your identity at once. Letting out a long sigh, he answered, Dane Sogris, youngest son of Acrid Sogris. What? The two thought. Is this kid insane? The Count thought, the youngest son of the House of Sogres. It seems the tables have turned. I was captured by that acrid, and he gained nothing from the war. I'll turn this situation around, make the Count take responsibility, and use it as leverage to demand mining rights. Those nobles who look down on me will all be forced to kneel. Humph. So the brat is the host of this birthday party. That's right. He thought, you arrogant little brat, I didn't come all the way to this remote southern region just to wish you a happy birthday. He continued, so what do you intend to do about this brat? You injured my son, a guest that you invited. You even stole his summon. That's a crime. That's right. Your luck runs out today. I will speak with Count Sogres and demand that he take responsibility. Let's go. You can see right through him. I understand. But before that, I demand an apology. What? An apology. That's ridiculous. This bastard, Den cut in. That's right. I did strike your son's nose and injure him. But since I was being threatened, I was merely acting in self-defense. Furthermore, I didn't steal his summon. Genbu came to me of his own free will. What Genbu would never do, that brat is lying, the Count thought. Wait a moment. I've heard that their second daughter is a genius summoner. That's it. I understand now. Perhaps that girl taught this brat how to sever the connection. He continued aloud. Even if what you say is true, it is a sorrowful thing to have one's summon taken away. And yet, you demand an apology. Yes, that's right. The Count continued. Who does this brat think he is acting with such arrogance, interrupting while adults are speaking? He thought, talking to this kid is such a headache. He continued, all right, I won't scold you anymore. Let's see what Count Sores has to say about this. Den thought to himself, looks like he's really looking forward to this. Just then, two other people approached from a distance. Sir, were you looking for me, father? Count Sores. And Duke Thermion is here too, the red-haired guy explained. I got lost in the garden with my younger brother, so I wanted to ask your son for directions. He thought, that's my father, all right. He cares a lot about his family, but he's not the type to be biased. Even in a conflict with an outsider, he can distinguish right from wrong. Suddenly, he punched me in the nose, and he kept using that weird technique to mock me. So I just summoned my beast to scare him, and then he stole my summoned beast. He even tried to attack me again, Den thought. He can lie with such a straight face. I'm really looking forward to this guy's future. Count Sores. I was only going to warn the boy, but stealing someone's summoned beast is wrong. I cannot simply let this go. Aiken added, we can't just hear one side of the story. I want to hear Den's story, then assess the entire situation before coming to a conclusion, correct? If you are worried about my decision, I will ask Duke Thermion to give his opinion. If you need me, then let's just proceed that way. He thought, damn it. Thermion getting involved will only make things more complicated. I have a bad feeling about this. Aiken spoke up. Den explain. Den thought, I just need to explain how everything happened. That should be enough, Den continued. Although it's a bit different from what actually happened, some of what Tyrann's son said is true. However, the flower garden that we worked so hard to cultivate, he trampled all over it. The one who got angry and grabbed the other's collar was him. Liar, when did I? Stop it. I heard you very clearly. When he summoned Genpu, he ordered it to kill me. And I didn't steal his summoned beast. His beast ran to me because it saw my kindness. But thought to himself, what 7-year-old can speak like that? He never stole his summoned beast nonsense. How could someone who isn't even a summoner possibly take control of a summoned beast? That brat must have used some kind of secret skill. No, I achieved a natural empathy with the summoned beast. A beast that isn't close to its master will accept someone like me as its new one. How ridiculous. Is that even possible? Yes, it is. It seems they don't want to believe it. Right, two completely different stories. If that's the case, they should prove it with the summoned beast. He thought the Duke is intervening. Den, can you prove it? Yes, father. At that moment, the father glanced at his son, who stood silent, breaking out in a cold sweat. What should I do? He thought, I can't summon Genbu. Son, what's wrong? Hurry up and summon it. Father, the thing is, I can't. Why can't you suddenly summon it? The beast you've summoned several times a day. Den thought, I've already severed the link. Of course he can't summon it. Father, I'll summon it now. But to do that, it seems I'll need the sigil he possesses. What did you say? My sigil? No way, I can't believe you want my sigil. What nonsense is this? Even if you use another summoner's sigil with its unique code, it won't work. Based on what you've said, even if this boy uses your sigil, it should have no effect. So there's no harm in trying, is there? Won't it just prove your point? He thought, damn it, he's right. I can't argue with that. The father beside him interjected, let them see your sigil for a moment, DeGrill. But father... He turned his face away. The father shouted, hurry up, Den thought to himself. Because a summoning sigil has a unique code carved by the summoner, no one else can use it. But Genpu, which DeGrill imbued with his magic, is now covered by my own. The summoning sigil is just a medium. Genpu, now linked to me, will answer my call. Watching the newly summoned beast happily wrap itself around Den, the two men nearby looked on in astonishment. Father, how my Genpu? No way. But continued, wonderful. You said the boy has never studied summoning. Aiken replied, that's right. I'm not sure what led to this myself. No, I'm sorry for summoning you just for this. And thank you for coming. He thought, damn it, this has turned into a disaster. Aiken spoke up, so what should we do? We've confirmed the beast belongs to the boy. Do you acknowledge that? It seems Den was telling the truth. It appears we misunderstood the matter of the stolen beast. Yes, and my son had no intention of killing Den. Right, DeGrill. Yes, I just wanted to scare him a little. I never intended to kill him. See, the boy had no such intention. Den thought, this bastard just keeps making things up as he goes. At that moment, another voice called out, that's not true. Hearing this, everyone turned to look. The person who appeared was the little girl, Leola. Leola, what are you doing here? I heard Father's voice as I was passing by. Greetings, Count Soris and Count Tyrann. Ah, yes, right. Does he think this kid is the daughter of the Duke himself? Anyway, what are you trying to say? That he's lying. Actually, I happened to overhear their conversation while I was on a walk earlier. He's thinking what the little girl heard everything. Is that true? Leola, would you mind telling us everything you heard? What happened was, I didn't expect this. But thanks to him, everything worked out. Dyron, what are you still standing there for? Hurry up and apologize. Quickly, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I want you to save that apology for my son, not for me. I understand. I was just about to make him do that. Go on, Dyron, hurry up. Hearing that, he resentfully walked over to Den. Sorry. Is it really an apology if he's only bowing his head and admitting guilt because he has no other choice with a third-party witness testifying against him? I really don't want to accept this. But based on my experience, it's more beneficial to show generosity here than to be stubborn. All right, I accept your apology. Thank you. He thinks, phew, that was a close call, but thinks, I knew he was special. He could have stubbornly refused since the fault was clearly on the other side. The two of you can stop this argument here. Anyway, Den has already accepted the apology. Personally, I have no intention of letting this incident slide. You intended to kill my son with a summoned beast, Count Sugrass. That's not. I don't want to hear any more excuses from you, Count Tyrann. Take your family and leave this castle. What you mean? He thinks, I've come all this way without any complaint. If I get kicked out now, it will all have been for nothing. It'll all be for nothing. I have to stay in this castle at all costs. He continues, Your Grace, please forgive us. I'll do anything you ask. Just this once. I need nothing from you. I will send soldiers to your room shortly. Let's go, Your Grace. Let's go, Leola. Den thinks, serves them right. They were the ones who started it. They're simply reaping what they sow. Still, I never expected that my father could be so scary. When he's angry. A while later, is that really true? You took it down with a single mana bullet. Yes, that's right. The ability to use summoning spears and now magic as well. That's incredible. Has there ever been anyone this talented in history? I truly doubt it. I'm truly so proud to have such an outstanding son. Really, his talent is one thing, but he's so calm, isn't he? Usually when kids fight, they get upset and insist on winning. But Den isn't like that. I have no doubt your son will grow up to be a fine man, but it's still too early to say anything for sure. We'll have to wait until the boy is grown to know. Today's incident was resolved smoothly thanks to Leola. If she hadn't been a witness, things could have gone in a very different direction. But thinks he's seeing Leola's good side, isn't he? If that's the case then, but says, the girl was simply recounting what actually happened. If that's all, why don't we discuss the matter of marriage between the two children? Aiken thinks, don't tell me he wants Den to marry his daughter. Aiken continues, oh my, the sun has already set. It's almost time for the banquet. I'll go on ahead to prepare. Count Sugrass, Leola, take your time and come back with Den. Sir Aiken, let's talk for a bit. After they were out of sight, the girl couldn't help but ask again. Anyway, why did the summoned beast ignore its summoner and listen to you? Instead, I've seen many duels between famous summoners in the capital, but I've never seen anything like this before, so I'm not really sure myself. It just happened. The girl continued, haha, you're hiding something, aren't you? Ah, that's not fair. I helped you, you know. What do you mean not fair? I helped you too. Didn't I help you with that whole thing with the real sword? Ah, now that you mention it, I guess you're right. All right, you've got a point. It's true, she did help me a lot this time. All right, then let's just say we're even for now. And in the future, we can continue to help each other out. Hearing that, the girl replied cheerfully, wow, that's a great idea. I want to cash in on that right now. She's so impatient. I wonder what she wants to ask. So, what do you want to ask? Teach me how to use mana bullets. What? Why do you want to learn that? Because I want to get stronger, of course. I want to at least form a mana core before I enter the academy. She's still so young. Why is she in such a hurry? The girl continued. I want to get really good and make my mother happy. You see, my mother loves me very much. She'll definitely be so happy if I get stronger quickly. That's right. I've heard the adults talking about this. Countess Termian is gravely ill. Den continued. All right. If that's the case, then I can't refuse you. No, really. For real, then let's start tomorrow. I'll be here until then. Or, do you want to start tonight? All right. Either way is fine. Mana bullets aren't that hard once you understand the flow of magic. I'm so excited. Now it's your turn. What's your request? What I want is... Elsewhere. I heard Count Tyran was kicked out of the castle. What did he do to deserve that? I heard it's because Tyran's eldest son caused some trouble. That's right. I heard he picked a fight with the young master Den and was taught a lesson. Tisk, tisk. To come all this way just to cause trouble. How shameful. Also, have you heard the rumor that young Master Den is also an outstanding summoner? Oh, so the House of Sogrit is going to become a prestigious family of summoners. Not only that, it seems he also knows how to use magic. Oh my, is that really true? So you're the young Master Den from the rumors. I am Baron Open. Do you know anything about the open territory in the east? I know a little. I've heard it's famous for its grilled salmon and sapphires. Haha, what a bright young man. That's right. The salmon and sapphires of the Open family are the finest on the continent. I heard you're very talented in many fields. It seems that's true. Anyway, I've brought my daughter here. I almost forgot to introduce her. This is Sylvia. Come and say hello if I'm... Why so suddenly? Hello, my name is Sylvia. It's a pleasure to meet you. This girl is Sylvia Open. Ah, yes, I'm Den. You're the one who will inherit the House of Sogrit in the future, right? I don't know about that. The girl continued, don't play dumb. I've heard you're very talented in many fields. Please take good care of me. After all, it's possible we'll become one family in the future. Yes, I'll be in your care. Kids these days are so direct. Seeing the two of them holding hands intimately, Leola approached and said, Den, you're here. Leola, lady? Lady Leola. Leola's eyes darkened as she asked, who is this? Den replied, she is. It's an honor to meet you, your grace. I am the eldest daughter of Baron Open. Sylvia Open. Oh, is that so? It's a pleasure to meet you. This familiar killing intent. Girls are terrifying. Leola continued, excuse me, I need to borrow Den for a moment. We have a prior engagement, don't we, Den? Den replied, huh. Oh, you're right. Sorry, Sylvia. Let's talk later. How terrible. Yeah, you mean he's terrible, right? The beloved daughter of the Duke who holds power over thousands, second only to the Emperor. Compared to the Baron's daughter from the east, you two don't seem to get along very well, do you? As they went to another place, Leola continued, so, how did you two meet? Is she the one you're engaged to? Den replied, engaged. No, not at all. We were just saying hello. Really? Of course, Den thought. Her expression suddenly brightened up. Then he continued, look, we're here. This is a secret place that only I know about. Whoa. Who knew a place like this even existed? That's right. We won't be bothered by anyone here. As they went deeper inside, Leola looked delighted. Whoa, this is amazing. I had no idea a place like this existed. No one will know what we do here. That's right. It's a perfect place to train. By the way, have you ever been able to feel mana? A little maybe. Not enough to form a mana core, but I've tried to absorb mana by breathing it in. So you haven't reached the manifestation stage yet. Den thought, I learned it on my own on the battlefield. I thought the Duke's family would have taught her. Den continued, let's start with something simple. First, you need to feel the mana you've absorbed into your body. Leola replied, feel it inside my body. Den continued, that's right. If you want to release mana from your body, you first need to learn how to control the mana inside. The important thing is to visualize. Visualize. Close your eyes and imagine the mana swirling inside you. Picture the mana swirling inside your body like blood circulating through your veins. Okay, I'll do as you say. Den thought, I can tell she doesn't get it. Den continued, this will be the foundation for you to use mana. It's a very basic step. I know you can do it. Watching Leola close her eyes and concentrate, Den watched her intently. Leola continued, Den, it's not working. Den replied, even though it's basic, this is still your first time trying. Focus. Not far away, Aiken was secretly watching the two of them train. Oh-ho. Even though he's young, our boy already knows how to teach others. You've grown up, son. At the same time, Buth suddenly appeared from behind and spoke. What are you doing here? Akan replied. Oh, good heavens, your grace, the Duke. Buth continued. Haha, no need to be so surprised. Is there a couple having a secret late-night date? Aiken replied. What do you mean a couple, and how did you get here? Did he trespass? Regardless, your sneaking is far too sloppy. Your wife is the Empire's legendary assassin, and you haven't learned a thing from her. I did my best, Buth continued. If the master of the mansion goes around peeping on others, people will speak ill of you, my old friend. Aiken replied, peeping. I was just following my son. You too. I'm following my daughter. I'm in no position to say this, but you're truly a hopeless father. You're just now figuring that out. Let me see too. You have a dimensional pouch like this / yeah. My older sister made it herself and gave it to me as a gift / oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. My brothers stopped paying attention to me ever since they went to the academy / but why a mirror in return / I bought it because I needed it / what really? It's easier to visualize something in your head if you look in a mirror instead of just using your imagination / is that so / yeah. Go stand in front of the mirror and look at your whole body. All right, I'll give it a try / She seems pretty serious. * It seems Leola has taken a liking to your son. Is it that obvious? Of course, she's not usually this open. Did something happen? But she's such a bright child. That's just how she seems on the outside. On the inside, I'm not so sure. After her brothers left for the academy, her mother became bedridden, so she couldn't be there for her like she used to. That's made it difficult for her to open up to people. So that's what happened. But if you understand her situation so well, then why are you so cold to your own daughter / don't you realize I have my reasons? When I was raising my sons, I gave them a lot of attention, and they grew up spoiled as a result / don't assume Leola will turn out the same way. You'll end up hurting her. No wonder she's asking for help instead. You're still as much of a nag as you've always been. / what? When am I ever like that? Tell me. Are you going to send your son to the capital? If you are, would you consider letting the boy stay at the ducal estate? I did it. I succeeded, right / yeah, you did a great job / we'll let Den decide just like with Arabella and Claire. However, if Den wants to go to the capital, I will certainly take you up on your offer / oh, it would be wonderful if you'd stop by. What, you want to argue with me all day? You've gotten sharper than you used to be / elsewhere * I wonder where he went *. Why are they behaving so embarrassingly? The love parents have for their children really has a strange effect on them. I'll just pretend I didn't see any of that / thanks, Den. You're a real genius / I've heard many people call me a genius before. But compared to you, I'm not all that talented Slash, this is just the beginning. You'll definitely get much stronger. Slash, Those two left quietly. Are you going to the academy too? It's where all the geniuses in the empire gather. Slash, my father. I don't know yet. Do I really have to go? I can just train by myself to get stronger. You silly, it's not all about studying. It's where you form connections with the nobility. You have to go. If you want to build relationships from a young age. Slash, haha, for a 7-year-old. She's pretty savvy about how the world works. Slash, I know. But I'm not interested in going to the academy yet. There's a mountain of books in the library I still haven't read, and there's still so much I have to learn from my parents. Oh man. That's true, but don't you want to hang out with other kids? I heard all of your older sisters attended the academy. Slash, asterisk. She's really persistent. Asterisk, slash, I'll think about it later. Slash, you have to tell me if you decide to go. Okay. Yeah, all right. Slash, when you come to the capital, you also have to visit my house and watch me practice. It's a promise. Slash, of course. I'll send you a letter if I come to the capital. Slash, oh, right then. When are you going to tell me your request? I'll tell you when I get to the capital. Slash, what? Slash, the next morning. Slash, we're leaving now. Holding the item in his hand, Den asked Butt in confusion, what is this, sir? It's a birthday gift for you. I hope you like it. Slash, asterisk. This looks expensive. ... Slash, the symbols of our Thorin family are vengeance, the sword, and the blacksmith. The history of the Thorin family began with our ancestor, a blacksmith. Thanks to him, our family possesses the finest forge in the empire. No, the finest forge on the entire continent. All the weapons forged by the Thorin family that have led the empire, they were all made in that very forge. Yeah, I know that. It holds every type of ore in all kinds of weapons and mystical artifacts forged on the continent. If you go to the forge and show them that symbol, they'll make a weapon to my specifications. Den thinks this symbol is used to identify a person of honor and skill. He's suddenly startled. I need to say something out loud. Oh my God. What a precious gift. Isn't this something that even the royal family would desire Lily grow up well and help your father? Thank you for the gift, your grace. Beside him, Leola also waves goodbye. Lily's father asks, are you sad to part with her son? Den replies, yes, sir, very sad. She was your first friend. When you go to the capital, you'll see her again. Become even more handsome and really surprise her. Den thinks, yeah, I can't stay here forever. I'll see you again when I visit the capital. Take care, Leola. Leola thinks to herself, how strange. Every time I look up, I remember that boy. That warrior named Acrid, with the talent of a level 3 warrior at such a young age. If he were still alive, he probably would have become a level 6 knight of the Rhaenic Empire. One night, I want to see you grow up soon. A few days later, I've been feeding it mana every morning and evening. Is it still too early for the egg to hatch? A mysterious familiar egg. Even if one isn't a 1-in-a-million summoner, if they feed mana to an egg and mark themselves as its master before it hatches, they can permanently control the summoned creature, which they can normally only use temporarily. Obviously, the quality of their mana needs to be compatible. There might be other complex conditions that haven't been met yet. I've heard there are some eggs that never hatch, because the hatching conditions are never met. I hope that's not the reason for this one. Even though I've tried changing the flow and strength of the mana, there's still no reaction. Sigh. I guess wanting to succeed on the first try was too greedy of me. Excuse me, young master. Are you finished? Herman, come here. Suddenly, the egg behind him begins to glow. Curious Den turns his head to look. He thinks, did I just hear something? Young master, what was that sound I just heard? Wait a moment. Let me check the egg first. He thinks I don't see anything different. Was I mistaken? Ha. Got my hopes up for nothing. Herman asks again. Did the egg react in some way? Den replies, no. I must have imagined it. They move to another place. Den trains diligently swinging his sword. Amazing, young master. When did you learn to use a sword? I just wanted to swing it around for a bit. You're truly a genius. You're talented with a sword, too. He thinks learning to use a new weapon is really fun. I haven't been able to hold a sword all this time because Father was watching so closely. Luckily, my skills haven't gotten rusty. Please have a snack first, and then we can continue. All right, thank you. He thinks training here is pretty good, too. The scene changes. Sigh. It's exhausting doing this every year, but we've gained a lot. From the last banquet, we can confirm that many nobles are turning their attention to the south. Most of them want to build a good relationship with us. Ever since the war ended, the south, with its good climate, holds many things the aristocracy covets. Perhaps their interest is all too clear, but that interest still can't compare to the amount of attention that Den has been receiving. The conflict with Count Tyrann's eldest son was unexpected, but the boy calmly and clearly explained the situation in front of the adults. He even confidently revealed his talent. The boy is too mature. Sometimes I wish he would act a little more childish like a boy his age. I guess that's just my own wish, though. It's almost time. Long V. Today let's have the boy try swinging it. He goes to another room. Aiken suddenly stops when he looks in the direction where Den is practicing with his sword. He thinks swordsmanship. Why is Den using a sword instead of a spear? Right. That old duke must have said something to the boy. Otherwise, why would he be here practicing swordsmanship after spending all that time training with the spear? But still, it seems the boy is quite experienced with a sword, huh? The power he's displaying is something that even some who have practiced swordsmanship their entire lives could never imitate. When on earth did the boy learn to do that? However, one thing is certain here. The boy has a talent for swordsmanship, too. I've been watching you for a while now. When did you learn swordsmanship? I'm busted. Maybe it's best to tell Father the truth. I didn't really learn it. Is that so? So it's really a natural talent, huh? Sorcery, magic, assassination, summoning, and now swordsmanship. If it were anyone else, I would never believe that a child could be talented in all those fields. So Dan, are you curious about this world? Pardon, what do you mean, Father? The world outside these walls. I think this territory is perhaps too small for your talents. If you stay here, it would probably be a great disservice to you. It seems he's realized he can't keep me here forever. Well, then that's good. Now we'll need to prepare you to step out into the world. Really? Of course. Though I'll miss you, I must respect my son's wishes. And today, I've brought you something a little more special. Here. Do you recognize it? It's the dragon's tail that reacted to you on your first birthday. That's right. I remember. It reacted to me. Here, try holding it. As soon as my hand touched the spear, a sensation coursed through my body. This is amazing. There's so much power here. It's reacting even more intensely than when the kid was just a baby. Now, no one can say it was because of me. I have to don't. I will make his talent with this spear shine the brightest on this continent. Yes, I'm thinking of at least helping you master this spear before you leave, so get ready. Yes, Father, Den, one day this spear will be yours. Before that day comes, become strong enough to wield it with pride. Of course, Father, instead of the dragon's tail, I will work hard to follow your teachings. With pride, Father, just as I'd expect from my son. All right, then. Shall we begin? Yes. The outside world. I've always been curious about it, even back in the days when I was struggling on the battlefield. In my life as Acrid, all I knew was war. Cleaning the camp, maintaining weapons, eating tasteless food, and heading to the battlefield. The only way to escape was for the war to end, or to die on the battlefield. Those were the only two ways. I couldn't even imagine what life outside the battlefield would be like. But as Den, the situation is completely different. I don't know how my talents will be used, how the world will receive me, or what I can do in this world. But I have the chance to go anywhere and do anything. For a moment, I just wanted to stay and enjoy the warmth of this place. But thanks to Father's question, my thinking has changed. All right, let's step outside. At that moment, another voice spoke up. So you've made your decision, my son. Mother, when did you come in? Don't worry. So you were so deep in thought, you didn't even hear me knock. Is that so? That's right. I heard from your father that you'd be lost in thought. Are you curious about the world outside our territory? Yes, Father said it would be a waste of my talent to stay here, and after thinking about it, I'm also curious about the outside world. I'm sorry, Mother. There's no need to apologize, Den. But my two sisters aren't here either. And if I leave too, then I'll be fine. I understand you, Den. I know how talented you are. Even if you didn't want to go, the outside world would still call to you eventually. Mother, it would be wonderful if you could stay with me longer, but the world won't let you do that. Yes, so go and do what you want to do. Den replied, yes, Mother, even if I leave this home. I'll visit often and tell you everything I see in the world. Thank you, my son. Well, then it seems I also need to prepare to send you out into the world. Just like father. Yes, what do you mean by prepare? I was planning on teaching you scouting and taking it slow from there, but it looks like you'll have to learn how to set and avoid traps, too. He thought, I'll have to learn special lessons. From Mom, too, his mother continued, and the skill of disposing of bodies, too. Ah, that's right. You'll also need to learn human anatomy. He thought, oh man, I'm going to be exhausted before I even step out into the world. His mother continued, in any case, your mother will teach you many things. Yes, mother, I'll do my best. He thought to himself, special lessons from my parents taught with love. That's right. If I want to go out into the world, I need to be well prepared. In the southern region of the Antian Empire, the county of Sors, with its warm climate and abundant natural resources, this place had become a key region for the Antian Empire. They wouldn't be depleted during the war, and thanks to the rule of Count Sorus, this land was always peaceful. And when the war ended, the remaining remnants of the rebellion were captured. Finally, an era of peace that felt like it would last forever had returned. Scene change. Have you heard the rumor? They say the young Master Den has been visiting some shops. Really, for real, he came to buy something. Apparently the shop owner's daughter fainted that day. Oh my gosh. So the rumors are true. I heard he's getting more and more handsome. I wish I could see his face just once. It seems he doesn't have a sweetheart yet. Maybe I should give it a try. What are you crazy? Get real. He's only 14 years old. From what I've heard, he doesn't look his age at all. Is that so? They say he's already as tall as the Count. Wow, could it be because the Countess is tall too? It's those superior genes. I'm sure if you saw him, you'd think he was 20 years old. Platinum blonde hair and blue eyes too. My heart would stop if I saw him. The next time he comes, I'm definitely going to see him. I wonder when he'll be out again. It seems he visits that shop quite often. Ah, that's right. Now that you mention it, the forest ranger told me this. Really? So it'd be easier to meet the forest ranger first and then go there. Are you actually going to do it? On the outskirts of the county, a place filled with ancient magic, the Forest of the Apocalypse. Here Den is carrying out the escape mission his mother gave him. The wind is from the south. I've seen Chero spiders here before, so I have to head west. 3 more hours, and also I have to get out before sunset. One of the most important things for an assassin is to not get caught by the enemy within a certain time limit, so I have to avoid the nets and traps set by my mother and escape this dangerous forest. He breathes in the surrounding air, and Mana holds it for a moment, then exhales, after concealing himself and blending in with the scenery. The hidden traps placed in unexpected locations will appear, just like now. Thin, almost transparent threads are everywhere. It looks like the traps will activate the instant I touch them. This is a basic mechanism, but also the most dangerous. Luckily, this type is easy to disable. He suddenly froze in place as a pack of monsters stood before him, growling continuously. Oh crap, it's a pack of roulettes. I can't believe they'd show up here. They're charging at a terrifying speed. I have to deal with them quickly. Wait, hold on. In the meantime, if I touch a trap, it'll be even more dangerous. I have no choice. I have to get out of here for now. He stopped thinking and ran with all his might. Just as the monsters tried to follow close behind, they accidentally triggered a trap. Immediately, sharp needles shot out, killing the monsters one by one. Aha! They fell for it. I took care of them without lifting a finger. Just as he looked back, one of them dodged the trap and bared its sharp fangs at him. It's so fast. It then gathered its strength and lunged forward. The fluid in its mouth, whatever it spits out, is definitely dangerous. I can't waste any more time here. As soon as he finished his thought, Den's eyes grew serious. With the spear in his hand, Den split his body and slashed the monster into small pieces. Ugh, I'm gonna be sick. At least I'm safely out of the forest. What now? Damn it. When did I let my guard down? For a moment he froze as his mother appeared before him. Very good. 3 minutes and 30 seconds total. You're even faster than me, son. You were watching the whole time, Mom. Of course, I couldn't just leave you alone. Even though I know your talents better than anyone, it's different as a mother. Yes, you did very well. I couldn't find a single mistake. Are you hurt? I'm fine, Mom. Really? At this rate, you're going to get recruited as an assassin. Here, take this. It seems to suit you more than me now. This is your dagger, Nyan. Are you really giving it to me? Of course. I don't use it anyway. The mother continued, Nyan is crafted from the mystical, ethereal ore, a type of ore that absorbs the elements of all things. If you want, it can even hold every poison in this world. So it can absorb toxins and use them too. Yes, thank you, Mom. I'll take good care of it. Thank you, son. Shall we head back? He thought to himself. I guess this is everything Mom is going to teach me, huh? Just then, a loud noise drew their attention. Mom, did you hear that? Yes. It sounds like someone's in the forest. Let's go quickly, Den. Yes, ma'am. In the county of So Grace, the tower master woke with a start. He gasped for breath, wondering, Where am I? I remember eating mushrooms in the forest. Just then, another person entered and spoke. You're awake. We're still detoxifying you, so don't try to move. The man thought, why is this young man? He then asked, detoxifying, did you save me? Yes, you ate a red cap mushroom. Luckily, we found you just in time. A red cap mushroom. That's a poisonous mushroom. If we had been any later, you would have been a corpse. Here, drink some water. Ah, thank you. Den thought to himself. The crest on his belt is from the Nixon Magic Tower. He's no ordinary person. If it weren't for my spirit, I wouldn't have been able to save him. Back to the present. Thank you. So where am I? Den replied, the auxiliary tower of the county of So Grace. The county of So Grace. He thought, so not only did I get lost and wander south, but I also got mushroom poisoning and ended up all the way here. Good grief. Den continued, please get some rest. I've already informed my father. He'll be here to see you soon. Huh, your father, then you must be... That's right. I am Den So Grace, the youngest son of Count So Grace. Whoa, really? You're the younger brother of Arabella, the genius that all the magic towers have their eyes on. By the way, how did you find me? Actually, I was training with my mother in the forest. The man interjected. What? In that crazy forest? He thought even an 8th grade mage like me got lost in there. The mana flow reversed while I was casting a spell, and my whole body just collapsed. Really, the entire forest carries ancient mana, and it's filled with traps. That's right. That forest is our family's estate. It's an extremely dangerous place for outsiders, especially since the mana flow there is different from the mana that modern mages are used to. It's best for mages not to go there. And you were in critical condition from eating a poisonous mushroom on top of that. Is that so? It seems I nearly died in there. He thought, wait, does that mean? This boy is strong enough to train in that forest. He then asked, were you also the one who concocted the antidote? No. The man thought, he looks like he's just a teenager. But to concoct an antidote that requires such extensive knowledge and precise skills, how can a family like this even exist? Besides their 2 genius daughters, even their youngest son is... If we were still at war, the County of Grace would have probably become the most powerful noble family in the Onthian Empire. He continued, I owe you a great deal. You certainly do. He thought, look at this kid. He's got some nerve. He spoke again. Ahem. I should repay those debts. But first allow me to introduce myself. I am Siren Girls. Not long ago, I was the master of the Nixon Magic Tower. Whatever you desire, you need only say the word. For I have everything in this world, except for the things I don't have. This man is the former master of the Nixon Magic Tower, Sarah's house. Den thought, he must be talking about his subspace. He then said, oh, is that really so? Den thought, many mages can live without a home by putting everything into a subspace. The man thought, what's this? I just told him I'm the master of a magic tower. A normal person would be surprised, or at least show some respect. But this kid is completely unfazed. He asked again, you'll never get another chance like this in your life. There's no need to be modest. Just tell me what you want. With a thoughtful expression, Den calmly replied, I'll take some time to think about what I want, and then I'll let you know. The man thought, he's not interested at all. What the hell is with this kid? In that case, please get some rest and recover. Watching the door that had just closed, he stood there helplessly. He was the first person to ever treat him like this. I was planning to stay for a day or two and then leave, but I guess not. I'll need to stay and investigate that interesting fellow more closely, but somewhere else. The master of the magic tower, huh? He must be exceptionally skilled in the field of magic. Definitely. From what I've heard, he's an 8th level mage, sir. 8th level. That's even higher than Lady Arabella. Well, that's right. It really is. Young master, that means a very powerful person is now indebted to you. The magic towers function as independent territories in these 6 lands. They're like nations unto themselves. Who would have thought he was such a big shot? But I wonder what the master of a magic tower was doing wandering around in the forest. That's no ordinary forest. Mages consider it a forbidden zone. They call it the Forest of Apocalypse. If that's the Forest of Apocalypse, then it would be a challenge even for mages. But he was lucky to survive, and it's all thanks to you, sir. Herman, bring me a new sword. All the ones I'm using are too light and short. Ugh, seriously. That's because all of those are broken swords from the war that the Count brought back. No wonder. I'll go prepare a longsword for your training tomorrow, sir. Yes, thank you. For now, I'll finish today's training with this one. Den thought to himself, come to think of it, I have one of those too. The mark that Duke Thermion gave me. It's been 7 years since that day. If I get a chance to go to the capital, I'll definitely visit him. Scene change. It looks like you've trained very hard again today, son. Yes, father. I thought you had business to take care of. You're home early. Father, everything finished quicker than I expected, and I had a reason to hurry home. Is it because of the master of the magic tower? A sharp question. Who knows? Perhaps he might be able to help Arabella. He might be a good master for her. Den thinks, but I'm not so sure he can handle her temper. Just look at her punching that incredibly annoying upperclassman. Anyway, you've saved another life. You did very well, Den. I only did what I had to do, father. Not everyone can do something like that. What you did was truly wonderful. Were my 2 sisters unable to come this time either, father? About that. It's so difficult just to see my own daughters' faces. Arabella just finished her long semester and is picking a magic tower to join, and I heard that Claire received a request from her professor to attend an appointment as a teaching assistant. They're both very impressive. My sisters really are amazing. But I have high expectations for you, too. I wonder how the world will treat a multi-talented child like you. Den replies, I don't know either. Anyway, just thinking about how you surprised Butt makes me laugh. Den thinks, Butt, I want to one day. Cross swords with him again. Anyway, I wonder how Layla's doing. The last letter I received from her was a year ago. Well, I suppose I'll find out when I get to the capital. A few days later, I'm still not fully recovered. I'm going to go crazy from being stuck in this room for so long. In that case, please don't go too far. And, for the time being, you are not permitted to use magic. What? Not permitted. That's right. Your mana flow has not been purified yet, and we haven't finished neutralizing the poison in your body, so you'll have to wait a while longer. I suppose it can't be helped. It's been a while since I was last unable to use magic. I guess it's a change of pace. But I can't stand being here any longer. Let's go outside. You don't even know your way around here, sir. If he causes any trouble, I suppose I'll be the one who gets punished. Mages are one of 2 things. A genius on the left, a madman on the right. Listen, he's already gone up and down every single floor in the house 10 times. And now he's been staring at the flowers in the backyard for hours. But he's supposed to be the strongest of all the mages, right? So what if he is? He's definitely crazy, but Lady Arabella needs to live a normal life. Still, I'm really curious who created this garden. I never would have guessed these flowers would hold such an extraordinary amount of magic. At the same time, another person approached and spoke. I dropped by to see how you were doing, but I couldn't find you. Turns out you were here. Ha ha ha, you thought I'd run off somewhere, didn't you? Someone told me I have to stay here until I'm fully recovered. That's right. That's what I want as well. He continued, this area is truly a good place for a person to rest and recover. Yes, now I can understand why. The nobles head south when the vacation season arrives. Dane replied, that's right. This place is wonderful. I'm a little sad that I have to leave so soon. What, you're leaving already? Where are you going? Not too far. I'm heading to the capital. Oh, the capital, eh? Then you must be heading to the academy there, right? And your sisters are at the academy too, aren't they? That's right. They'll have an easy life there. He thought, his sisters are famously and exceptionally talented, so I wonder just how gifted this boy is. Should I check him out? What is this dense mana? His mana is unbelievably dense. If the geniuses in his age group are streams, then this boy is a raging waterfall. Such a large amount of mana would normally be very unstable. So unstable it could burst out at any moment. But how? Beside him, Dane spoke up. Don't you think assessing someone's magic without their permission is a bit rude? Ah, you noticed you've got some skill. Ah, my apologies. I was so thoughtless. He thought, no. There's no way I can believe something this absurd. Could someone really exist with mana as incredibly dense as this boy's? Dane thought, what did he see that surprised him so much? He thought, wait a minute. Why can't I see any mana circles? With that kind of density, there should be visible mana circles. Could it be the kid has 2 mana cores? He stopped thinking and asked, how did you form your mana core? Is there a problem? Of course there is. You already have such an insane amount of mana, and you still want to add swordsmanship to that. And you even possess a type of magic that only requires a core without needing mana circles. Do you want to throw away the greatest talent ever known? Then can't I just use both? This is so frustrating. Where do I even begin to explain? Do you know why the lifespan of a magic swordsman is so short? They are powerful because they possess both a mana core and mana circles. However, the two interfere with each other, and when they clash, problems arise. That's a law of nature. The mana compressed in the core gets channeled into the mana circles, and the circles can't withstand it. The clash causes them to explode. Dane thought, my father has already done quite a bit of research on his own. But is this really impossible? Tsk, tsk. What a waste of talent. Such a waste. Can't you use magic without a magic circle? It's not that it's impossible, but without the refinement of a magic circle, how can you cast spells that require pure mana? Besides, it's not like no one has had the same idea as you before. However, most of the ones I know failed. Well then, I'll give it a try. Hearing that the old man asked in confusion, What? I've never tried it before, but it seems possible. What is this crazy kid talking about? If I rearrange the magic code? As soon as he finished speaking, Den held out his hand, creating resonant magic. Instantly, an explosion occurred. Oh, it worked, but it's only a basic level 1 spell. What? How is that possible? This child doesn't have a magic circle at all. How can he use magic? The old man continued, No, I can't believe it. You should only be able to use magic through a customized magic circle. And yet, Den replied, My sister Arabella said my affinity for magic is very high. Maybe that's the reason. Even so, the old man thought. Is this what commoners mean when they describe an inimitable talent? Is this what they call a natural-born genius? Den thought, It really works, so I can use magic without a magic circle. Now I get it. Trembling, the old man couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. He thought to himself, an innate mana affinity, and his mana is purer and denser than anyone else in this world. Does such a person really exist? He then said, Do you want to be my disciple? Wait a minute. I said, let's talk for a bit. It would be a great pity to pass up on an incredible talent like you. Do you know how to use level 2 magic gnome? I don't know the code, so I can't. Oh ho, wonderful. If you become my disciple, I'll cast level 8 magic for you right now. No, thank you. I refuse. Hearing this, the old man's face contorted with anger. At that very moment, Archon arrived and asked, I didn't think you were so close to my son. Father, son, what were you two discussing? Den replied, he kept insisting I become his disciple, but I refused. A disciple count. So Grace, your son, possesses the talent of a great mage. Is that so? Perhaps even greater than you can imagine. He even succeeded in using chain-level magic without any magic circle. Without a magic circle, is that true? Den, yes, father. Archon continued, I'm quite sure he has no basic knowledge of magic whatsoever. The old man beside them chimed in, which makes the boy's talent all the more impressive. As expected of the former master of the magic tower to see my son's talent immediately. It's not just that he's talented. Your son is a genius. The boy could even become a rare magic swordsman. A sword is better than a spear. Arcan's expression darkened. He stammered, A magic swordsman. Den thought, Ack. But you shouldn't say that in front of father. That's right, a magic swordsman. Finally interested, aren't you? If he becomes my disciple, I will take full responsibility. I will turn the boy into the strongest magic swordsman in the empire. What is he thinking? Why do I get the feeling that he shouldn't become a magic swordsman? But why? A swordsman with magic? Don't you see he's a perfect fit? My son Den will not become a magic swordsman. He will become a magic spearman. What is that the issue? Ha ha. Why is everyone in this family the same? For a mage, becoming a disciple holds great significance. Mages often nurture a successor through an act called inheritance. This tradition dates back to ancient times, and it continues to this day, even in the modern era where public magic education has been established. That's right. The master of the magic tower isn't just looking for a disciple. He's looking for a successor. Considering a level 8 archmage is hovering around me like this, it means my talent must be something truly incredible. After hearing so much praise, I'm starting to feel something too, stirring inside my body. I know. When you want to see me, just pour your magic into this crystal ball. All right, I'll ask Arabella. Sister Arabella, it's me, Den. Den, my little brother. What is it, Den? I cast a level 1 spell. What? But you don't even have a magic circle yet. Den replied, It's true I don't have one, but I was still able to cast it. I knew you were a genius, but I never thought you were this good. So the magic circle's only function is to purify and circulate mana. Maybe it's because your mana is already too pure. Arabella replied, That does sound plausible. I have a way to check. Here, over here. I'll send you a magic stone through the transporter in your room. All you have to do is pour a little mana into it, okay? I understand. He thought my sister is so good to me. Mana has always been something I'm very curious about. Advice from a 6th tier mage is incredibly helpful. Arabella continued, That reminds me, if you can already cast magic, you're going to get a lot of attention at the academy. Den replied, I don't want that. That's unavoidable. Talent is what draws the most attention. Make sure to tell me if you get bullied at school, okay? I'll take care of anyone who dares to touch my little brother. Den replied, You didn't have to tell me, I almost forgot. I heard you broke the nose of that guy who kept hitting on you, right? He's the second son of Duke. Well, isn't he? Arabella continued. Don't even mention that bastard again. By the way, even without a magic circle over time, is it possible for your mana to become even purer? Den replied, I don't know. Arabella continued, I'll look into it later and see. Senior Arabella, the professor is looking for you. Den, I have to go. I'll call you back later. Okay, talk to you later. All right, I'll send this magic stone as soon as I can. Den thought I'm about to enter a whole new world. I never would have guessed my mana was this pure. Could it be that I have the heart of a dragon elsewhere? I'm going to die. I used my mana to probe him, and that just made my condition even worse. I was planning to leave here early, but I can't leave yet. Not until he accepts my offer. A memory flashes. Oh ho ho, excellent. If you agree to be my disciple, I'll teach you 8th tier magic immediately. No, I don't need it. What do I have to do to get him to agree? Should I offer him some magical artifacts, or the accumulated knowledge of my many lifetimes? No, that's too much. If I offer it, and he still refuses, I'll have to leave empty-handed. At the same time, a voice from outside echoes in. Are you in there? It's me, Socks. He thought, what is he doing here? Could it be he's accepted my offer? Come in. Great, you're here. I have something I want to talk to you about. What do you want? He thought, wait a minute. Him. I knew it. There's no way you wouldn't want to become the disciple of a great 8th tier mage like me. If not that, then why are you here? Didn't you say you weren't interested in magic? What? No. It's not that I'm not interested in magic. Then why don't you want to be my disciple? Don't tell me you already have a master. No, I don't have a master. He thought, is this kid messing with me? He continued, if that's not it, then what on earth are you here for? Den thought, I don't know how to advance once I reach the 2nd tier. It'll be hard for my sister to teach me since she's so far away. In the end, the best way is to learn from Mr. Sidran. Besides, he owes me his life. Den continued, I don't want to be just an ordinary mage. What, then do you want to become a magic marksman? Number 1, I will become a mage marksman assassin summoner. What does that class even exist? Oh, and a swordsman too. That's absurd. This is hard to say. So you're still determined to refuse me, even when you know this is your only chance? Yes, he thought. Damn it, he's too stubborn. Maybe that method will work. Do you want a letter of recommendation? A letter of recommendation. I heard that you want to get into that academy, right? If I write you a letter of recommendation, you'll be admitted directly. Den thought this offer is actually very tempting. All right. Good, excellent. Now then, shall we discuss the details? Can I set a condition? He thought, he's taken the bait. I'll seize this chance and make sure he can't escape. Of course, go ahead and speak. Sir, can you teach me how second-tier magic works? Of course I can. I understand every type of magic in this world. Oh, really? Then I'm counting on you. Haha, it's nothing. He thought he's still so young. A letter of recommendation or the mechanics of second-tier magic are nothing to me. All right, let's begin right away. Model. Although my condition isn't the best, it's fine. Let's begin. It seems he's fallen right into my trap. I'll just consider this as you repaying me for saving you in the forest. Okay, what are you talking about? You said it yourself. You owe me a life debt, so I can ask for anything from you. And I've already told you what I want. What about it? And what about the matter of you becoming my disciple? No way. Did I just get tricked? I was tricked by a 14-year-old kid. Wait a minute. You're asking for two things. I only owe you one favor. I don't think so. What do you mean? First, I saved you from the forest. Second, I removed the poison from your body. On top of that, I had to carry you all the way back here. But I'm not counting that. How can this kid be so sharp? My back is acting up a bit. Scene change. It's nothing. If I keep trying to persuade him, maybe he'll change his mind in the future. It would be a huge waste to pass up on a natural-born genius like this. The fact that you could condense a mana core before even having a magic circle is not worth mentioning. What's important is that you can cast magic even without a magic circle. The method for channeling the magic I'm about to explain is very complex. Countless people have given up at this stage, so listen very carefully. All right. Look at those sparkling eyes. But I won't let you get your way so easily. I'll teach you a lesson. Tier 2 magic is on a completely different level than Tier 1. That's because you have to simultaneously calculate the amount of mana, the density of mana, floating in the air, and even your own physical condition. This is the reason most people give up on learning magic. It's because of that. It's extremely complicated. Well, do you even understand what I'm saying? He'll definitely have to beg me to explain it in simpler terms. That's the basics of it. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. I have to learn so much, not just how magic works, but also things I don't even know about yet. What you really understood all of that. In that case, tell me about the laws of how magic operates. The first law is coexistence. Magical power can coexist with the physical world and other mana sources. Through coexistence, a mage uses their own magical power and the surrounding magical power to cast spells. The second law is conservation. Unbelievable. He completely understands the nature of magic. If the magical power gathers enough physical elements, then through conservation, it can manifest as magic. Through all the different elemental attributes, and he's even adding his own interpretations. Most people find this stuff boring, but he doesn't seem to be the same. How can someone like this even exist? Each time the tier of magic increases, it becomes exponentially more complex. Instead of explaining, I'll give you a demonstration. For example, this is a Tier 1 spell. It can be cast using simple laws. However, from Tier 2 onwards, it's different. Tier 1 can't even compare. This is how a Tier 2 spell works. They're woven together in a very complex way. It feels more difficult than the theory. Well, this is the magic that creates a Tier 2 fire spell. Fire arrow. Also, if you want more, you need to cast the same spell multiple times. You must be very surprised, right? You've never seen how a spell works. A Tier 2 spell, after all. It looks complicated, doesn't it? Most people take at least a year after freely casting Tier 1 spells before they can even start using Tier 2. No matter how smart you are, you can only understand a fraction of the spell. The important thing here is the law. If you can't understand that, then nothing else matters. I'll observe you for about a week, then slowly teach you the technique. Should I give it a try? Well, it'll be difficult, but go ahead and try. Okay then. He closes his eyes, concentrating on releasing mana. This is a Tier 1 spell, right / correct. Oh, he can create lines of a specific length and width. Impressive, slash. So that's using simple tier 1. And this is what you just showed me. Is this for real? He perfectly copied the workings of a tier 2 spell. Did he really understand it just by watching me cast it once? How did you do that? I just observed, memorized the rules and patterns, and when I formed the magic in my head, it wasn't that difficult. He thought, this is truly beyond imagination. Even a magic genius like me took some time to cast a level 2 spell. But this boy can manifest it without even needing a magic circle. All right, I'll try fire arrow then. What? As soon as he finished speaking, he began muttering the incantation. Oh, it looks like it's working. He thought, he cast it that easily, it's completely absurd. If I had this kind of talent, then I could have reached my dream of level 9. Am I doing this right? He replied, yes, yes. Very impressive. You learn everything I teach so quickly. Yes, I was surprised I could do it on my first try, too. He thought a mage without a magic circle. The world would be in an uproar if they saw him. I have to hide this talent. All sorts of people will try to approach and bother you, kid. Well, at least until you become my disciple. He continued. All right, shall we move on to another spell? Yes. He thought I should start thinking about how to write a letter of recommendation to the academy. A little while later, magic lessons are more fun than I thought. I need to study both theory and practice carefully. But being able to use magic again, thinking back in my past life, I was in a situation where I was forced to give up on magic. In a situation where I didn't even know when I might die, spending time learning magic was too much of a luxury for me. To survive, I had to swing a sword because magic up to a certain point requires prioritizing theory over practice. That makes me look forward to this life even more. Combining the theory I've learned with my innate talent, I can show explosive growth with just simple instructions. And on top of that, I'm being taught by the former master of the magic tower. Yes, I wonder what magic I'll learn tomorrow, half a month later, and what you want to make a magic reagent. Yes, since we don't have enough materials, we'll need to go outside the estate. Making reagents already. Don't worry about the kid. He's already learned the principles of level 4 magic. Doesn't it usually take a month to finish one level? Information about magic reagents isn't easy to come by. Where did you learn about it, son? I learned about them while reading magic books in the library. I found them really interesting. A genius is truly different as expected. I never thought he'd be curious about magic reagents. Many people find it very boring, but for you, even just picking out materials will be fun. I'm sure of it. All right then. This will be a valuable experience for you. Since you'll be going out, take a look around the domain as well. Yes, father. Scene change, young master Den. Young master, please take these snacks with you. They're a new product. That silver hair, it's fluttering so beautifully today. I'm sure everyone is doing fine. I'll come back for the snacks later. He thought it seems Count Soares isn't a bad person. Or father. Judging by the way he treats me, that makes sense. Here in the south, there's lots of delicious food, the weather is pleasant, and the people are friendly. It's a rare sight in the capital. Yes, it's very warm here. So, how much longer until we get to the magic tool shop? I'm not sure. I've never been there before. Herman, we're counting on you to lead the way from here. Yes, young master, this way. It's not much farther. What a relief. At the magic tool shop. Oh my, is it really the young master Den? Your silver hair and amber eyes are as amazing as the rumors say. Thank you for having us. How has business been lately? The usual. Not many people in the domain come to buy magic tools. I mostly sell to foreigners and those who are interested in magic. I never expected to have the honor of meeting the former master of the magic tower, Sir Sidron here. Den thought. She recognized him with just a glance. That makes sense, since there aren't many who become masters of the magic tower in the Empire. Please feel free to look around the shop. Just call me if you need anything. All right. Since this is your first time at a magic tool shop, take your time and look around. I'll talk with the shopkeeper for a bit. Okay, Den thought. Wow, this place has so many interesting things, and something feels a little strange. It's a feeling of déjà vu. Also, if I touch a magic tool, I can see its magical reaction. It must be because my sensitivity to magic is quite high. What's that sound? A pretty strong reaction is coming from over there. What is that? The girl behind him replied, Young master, those are just decorations. Ah, is that so? The old man said. Why don't you come over here? How about looking at some potion ingredients? Moonroot is a good one. An excellent choice. There are at least 50 types of potions that contain moonroot. I grow it myself, so the quality is excellent. Den thought, how strange. It's that stone. It's resonating, young master. What is it, Herman? Wait, I can feel something coming from this stone. It's just a decorative piece, isn't it? I'm not sure to say, but there's something strange about this stone. He thinks I see. The more magic I channel into it, the stronger the reaction. Don't tell me it only reacts to my magic. You have a good eye, sir. It's perfect for a specimen. Then get me this pile of moonroots and a few of those conqueo berries next to it. Den continued. Excuse me, what is this? Where did you get that stone? What exactly is it? Oh, that stuff. It's just decorative. Decorative, you say? He thinks, no way. What kind of decoration reacts to magic? The girl continued. Just thinking about that stone gets on my nerves. Why is that? Did someone scam you? A few years ago, some peddlers paid me with a large bundle. When I opened it, that rock was inside. By then, they were long gone. I had no idea what it was, so I had it appraised. But in the end, they said it was nothing more than a rock. I didn't know what else to do with it, so I just stuck it over there. He thinks, how strange. This stone is clearly not ordinary. Young master, if you're looking for something better, please have a look over here. Yes, I have some very special magical artifacts I can show you. Ah, okay. This is a contact scroll. He thinks, this place is full of amazing things, but this stone is the only thing I want. The girl continued, if you place it in there, it will automatically save any information you want. You just have to call out the other person's name, and their card will appear. Den cut in. I'll take the contact scroll and this stone. Why would you want that useless stone? He thinks I'm sure I'll need this stone. What do you plan to do with it? Hearing that, Den simply remained silent and smiled. I never took you for someone interested in decorations or art. Or perhaps there's something special about that stone. So you've noticed, of course. Otherwise, why would you want to buy a useless stone? Exactly, this stone is definitely not just a decoration. It reacts to my magic. Is that so? I'm not sure what that stone is, but now that you mention it, you've piqued my curiosity. It's too crowded here. Let's head back to the palace and take a closer look at it. All right. Scene change. So do you know what it is? Are you underestimating my priceless laboratory equipment? With these, we'll find out exactly what it is. Den replied, even though a mage already appraised it and said it was nothing special. The old man continued, whatever that fool said, how could he possibly compare to my equipment? I spent my entire fortune on these advanced tools. It can analyze anything you put on it. Oh, amazing. Let's try it now while we're at it. All right. I'm actually quite excited about this. Okay, place the stone here, then channel your magic into it. Hearing this, Den immediately placed his hand on the stone and a bright light shone from within it. Den thinks, there's something really special about this. Siren thinks, well, I can finally puff out my chest with pride. All right. Seeing the sight before him, Den asked, is that a magic code? Yes, but it's no ordinary magic. He thinks astonishing. This is a magic that contains structural principles and a casting method I've never seen before. It might even be as complex as a 6th or 7th tier spell. So the magic hidden inside the stone is what's projecting that code. Precisely. Your magic was the key that unlocked it. I say that because it only reacts to your magic. He thinks, what is it? What is this magic inside the stone? And why does it only react to me? The magic sealed inside is somewhat unfamiliar to me, but since I am the former master of the magic tower, I'll see what I can do. If I succeed, then maybe I can finally understand why my magic is different from everyone else's. Well, perhaps. I hope this works. In Arabella's personal laboratory, just as I thought, it's different. It's clearly different from common magic, a special property. It has a special magical property. A property that Den possesses, one that even I do not have. However, which field of magic does this belong to? The results show no reaction to reagents for portal magic or technomancy. If it's not any of those, then what is it? It must be compatible with something. Ah, that's right. There is one field of magic that was lost. Den's magic should be compatible with it. Now, where did I put that? Here it is. Alchemy, divination, spiritualism to necromancy. There's even a code for primal magic. At that moment, a book next to her fell over, and Arabella's curious gaze followed it. Could this be some kind of ancient magic book? Come to think of it, there was a magical kingdom a long, long time ago, and there was magic inherited from Akina, which was an ancient magic from 2,000 years ago, so no one knows how to use it. Haha, what am I even talking about? Ancient magic disappeared 2,000 years ago. The magic of night could never compare to it. But whatever. I've got nothing to lose. I'll just give it a try. As soon as she finished speaking, Arabella began to attune the items she had laid out before her. The moment she opened her eyes again, letters began to appear on the blank paper. Something was materializing. What is it? Alchemy, divination? Or could it be? I hope it's not necromancy. No way. What the hell is this? In another room, Nen and the old man were staring intently at a glowing object. Oh, the seal has been broken, Nen said. Is there something inside? The old man asked. That's right. We're going to take it out. A silver bracelet. It looks like the kind of cheap anklet anyone could buy at the market. And here I thought there'd be something special inside this thing, but I don't see anything. That's because it only reacts to your magic. You should try putting it on. Ah, yes, sir. Nen immediately did as he was told and put it on his hand. The next second, a light flared from the bracelet. Oh, it really is reacting. Huh. I see some strange symbols. What are these? Let's see. Sir, do you know what they are? That's right. These symbols are from the ancient language that no one in this world can read. Nen continued. The ancient language you mentioned. Siren cut in. They're the symbols used by the ancient magical kingdom of Akina. Staring at the bracelet, Nen's memories of Akina came flooding back. I heard Arabella talk about it when I was little. She said it was an era where even the smallest items were created with magic. But then one day that era came to an end. The only things left were a few ruins the stories passed down, and this line of magic code. Siren spoke up. Haha, I knew your magic was special, but I never imagined it was connected to the ancient magical kingdom. Nen replied, so that must be the reason why I was able to move so easily through the forest these past few days. It would seem so, since the magic of that forest originates from Akina. He thought, I've always wanted this child to be my disciple, but I don't see anything else in this bracelet. Yes, you can take your time to figure it out. However, don't speak of this to anyone. Yes, sir. I'll do as you say. Suddenly, a tremor startled the two of them. What's that noise? Don't tell me. Is that alarm for a monster attack? Haha, excellent. My body has almost fully recovered. Time for a little warm-up. Don't you think I can finally return the favor? What are you still standing there for? Go grab a spear or something. Hearing this, Nen reached into his shirt and took something out. The old man beside him asked, What is that? It's making a sound just like the alarm from over there. Nen replied, The sound has nothing to do with monsters. This sound means, my older sister is trying to contact me. What? You should have said so from the start. Haha, there's no way a monster would appear in this area. Yes, now, if you'll excuse me, I need to speak with my sister for a moment. Yes, sis, what is it? Nen, why did it take you so long to answer me? A voice replied, I'm sorry, sis, is there something you needed? Arabella continued, while I was analyzing your magic code, wait a minute, is someone with you? The voice replied, Don't tell me you also figured out that my magic is an ancient type. What? How did you know that? Oh, right, so that's what happened. While Sir Sidron and I were analyzing some stones, I figured out they were from an ancient magic kingdom, and I mentioned that the stones only reacted to my magic. So I replied, yes, that's right, sir. Sidron's thoughts. Huh. She figured that out just by analyzing the boy's magic. I knew she was a genius, but she's even more talented than I imagined. Arabella asks, does anyone else know? No. No good. Nen, listen to me carefully. Sir Sidron, please listen as well. It's best that you keep this a secret. If you reveal this now, you won't be able to handle the consequences. Sidron interrupts, ahem. Miss Arabella, I've heard quite a lot about you from Nen. Sound of a reply. Oh, Sir Sidron. I realize I jumped straight to the point without introducing myself. Sidron continues, don't worry too much. I will keep this strictly confidential. Because if this gets out now, it won't just be Nen, but the entire Sogrit family that will face grave consequences. Arabella replies, consequences. You understood the situation at hand immediately. Sidrin asks, is this conversation being recorded? Number, as soon as this conversation ends, it will automatically disappear. Sidrin says, what a relief. No one wants to leave evidence lying around. Besides, I plan to return to the Magic Tower and investigate this matter. Arabella continues, thank you for helping us, sir. Sound from the device. No, Miss Arabella, I'm doing this out of my sense of duty as a mage, so it's nothing really. While we're on the subject, I heard you're looking for a magic tower to join. Have you decided which one yet? Not yet, sir. However, I am not considering the Nixon Magic Tower. It doesn't specialize in the field I'm interested in. Sidrin's thoughts. I was wondering who that kid took after being so decisive. It seems he gets it from his sister. He continues aloud. Him. Ha ha ha, I see. In any case, you don't necessarily have to come to our magic tower. Den's thoughts. My sister is pretty straightforward, huh? Arabella continues, I am sure there are plenty of other talented people out there who will join your magic tower, sir. Anyway, Nen, we'll discuss the details later. Okay, got it. You take care, sis. Your sister has become quite a capable person. Of course she is. She's the one who made this device, too. She said that this compact crystal ball is the latest trend among young mages these days. That's right. It's impressive, but I have no need for such an item. When one reaches the 8th level, contacting others isn't something they desire. If there's something important to say, they can just come and see me in person. Right. Ah, I see. Den's thoughts. It seems like he doesn't have any friends. Scene change. You said it's ancient magic. That makes me worried. Haha, don't worry, Dad. If anyone targets Nin, I'll make them pay. Lily chimes in. I like the sound of that. Then I'll silence anyone who targets you in my own way. Den's thoughts. Ha, they're overflowing with bloodlust. But with the two of them protecting me, there's nothing safer. By the way, if that's true, does that mean there's ancient magic hidden in our bloodline? That's a good question. And we don't know if any of our ancestors had it. I'll check on my side of the family. Den's thoughts. If both sides of the family look into this, what might they be able to find out? It's not really that important, but I'm curious to know. Parents continue. Anyway, it seems you've already broken through more than one limit, Nen. If you continue to stay here, it will hinder your further development. You should consider moving to the capital. Now is the right time. The capital, that's right. You know you have to be at least 14 years old to be admitted to the academy, and you're old enough now. To be honest, I wanted to keep you here for another year or two before sending you off. But it seems there's nothing left for you to learn here, so if you choose to, you can leave whenever you want. Den's thoughts. I didn't expect them to think that way. So I'll do just fine. Go and fulfill your talent as you see fit. Yes, I understand what you and Mom are saying. I'll prepare to enroll in the academy of my choice. That's good. He thinks it's a good idea. It's time for me to level up again. Oh, so that's your choice. That's right. Sooner than I expected. You've made a good choice. Staying here any longer would only limit your talent. It would be a waste. Besides, I have some advice for you. Don't immediately reveal too much of your talent. Although the academy itself is a place that welcomes talent, not everyone thinks that way. That's right. Arabella told me that before. She had to deal with people insulting her. Normal kids just can't keep up, huh? But the Tomiel family is a different story. Oh, that's right. Come to think of it, I told her I'd visit if I went to the capital. She'll be so disappointed if I don't visit. While I'm at it, I should think about what weapon to make with the seal Duke Tomiel gave me. Let's see now. If you're not enrolling in the academy for another 3 months, then you should leave here in 2 months. That seems reasonable. What about you? I plan to return to the Magic Tower. I think I have things to do. Thanks to you, I'm no longer bored. If I find any clues about arch magic or anything related to it, I'll let you know. Really, if you could do that, I'd be very grateful. Then the only remaining issue is your lessons. If we're short on time, we'll have to speed things up. Reaching level 3 is very difficult. Level 2 is nothing compared to level 3. Yes, I'll study hard. Oh, and I've prepared a gift for you. A gift. That's right. My sister sent me this using instant teleportation magic. Yesterday. It's a brand new item. Oh, it's a new compact crystal ball that's not on the market yet. Arabella invented this new product. She adores me, so when I asked for one, she gave it to me. It's quite compact and beautiful. Ah, well, I don't need this, but I'll graciously accept the gift you've prepared for me. Please use it to contact me. Oh, I can record my code in here. Even though he claimed he didn't need it, he looks pretty excited. That's right. You do it here. Haha, this thing is really simple and easy to use. I guess he won't be contacting me that often. The Academy. I need to prepare seriously. In the remaining 2 months, my goal is to be able to use summoning magic to a certain extent. I'll aim to officially enroll in the summoning magic class, receive the summoning seal, and get a chance to take the competency evaluation exam. Since Claire is an assistant professor, I'll probably see her often once I enroll. Ah, I forgot to imbue that buddy of mine with magic. For 7 years straight, I've painstakingly imbued it with magic day and night, but it still hasn't reacted at all. However, if the magic I've imbued it with hasn't gone anywhere else and my buddy has absorbed it, then I'm sure it will hatch one day. Currently, the entrance exam system is very simple. There are 2 exams you have to pass. 2 exams. Yep, 1 general exam and 1 major specific exam. I see. Could you explain in more detail? The general exam is a type of preliminary screening to classify the candidates. It's a test on culture history and matters related to the empire. For you, I'm sure you can pass it without any problems. Of course, the better you do, the more advantageous it is since it will be factored into your admission score. The next test is the major specific exam. As the name suggests, you'll choose a major and be tested on it. The content of the exam depends on the professor, but I'm sure you'll pass. Besides, you also have a letter of recommendation. I remember now. You guys passed it easily too, right? That's right. It really wasn't difficult at all. However, once you've chosen a major, you'll have to stick with the major you chose for the major specific exam unless you want to transfer later. That's right, so you have to choose carefully at the beginning. I'm still hoping our little brother will choose the magic major. Haha, she still hasn't given up, huh? All right, I'll think about it. So if I want to change my major after enrolling, is transferring the only way? Usually yes, unless you graduate and want to start over from the beginning. Of course, you can also take classes from other majors, usually from the 3rd year onwards. Advanced major-specific classes won't allow students from other majors to participate, so I'll have to choose a single major to study then. Ah, that's right. There's a program called the Specialized Elective for talented people like you, Nen. Is there really something like that? Sounds interesting. But unless someone's trying to fail on purpose, no one would want to sign up for it. So, why is that? Because no one has ever passed that exam. Oh, I see. Don't tell me you're thinking of giving it a try, are you? No, absolutely not. Oh, sis, Sir Siren is here. I'll get back to you later. Okay. Am I pushing him too hard? No. But magic is still... Senior Arabella, the professor, is looking for you. Ah, okay. I'm on my way. Scene change. The letter of recommendation you promised. You really wrote it for me, sir. I didn't just write it for show. I put a great deal of thought into the content. I've written my fair share of recommendation letters, but this is the first time I've ever put this much heart into one. Consider it an honor. I will do my best not to disappoint you, sir. It would have been nice if you'd said you wanted to be my disciple. But even if I took you on, I doubt you'd obediently call me master. How did he know? So, are you all packed for your trip? Yes, sir. To be honest, I don't have much to pack. Besides, the Academy's dorms are very well equipped, so most of what I need is already there. The facilities are good, that's true, but there are a few brats who are monopolizing them. But you're not the type to back down from the likes of them. Right, hearing him say that. It sounds like the Academy is just a collection of nasty nobles. Don't forget this. It can be a rather harsh place. If you let your guard down, plenty of them will show their true colors and bare their fangs in an instant. I guess it's not much different from a battlefield. Yes, sir, I understand. If you need anything, contact me. And that thing you call a crystal sphere is truly useful. I'll make good use of it. But... why are you talking as if you're about to leave? You noticed I plan to leave tomorrow. Really, sir, I can't stay here forever, can I? Your father offered me the position of magic advisor, but I'll think about that later. When I have nothing else to do, you know. I still have many things to finish when I get back. I thought I had finished everything, but it turns out there are still many tasks I need to carry out. Is he talking about the Archmage's magic? Helping him is like helping myself. It's not a bad deal at all. Anyway, thank you, kid. Thank you for everything you've done for me, sir. Indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing how strong you'll become. By the time we meet again. Well then, I'll be off. Don't see me out. No, really? It's embarrassing. Yes, sir. Please take care. Maybe it's because we've spent a long time together. But I feel a little sad that he's leaving. Scene change. Sir Siren has left safely. Den also said he would be leaving today, right? That's right. The boy said he was all prepared. I heard he's leaving early, so I'm relieved, but I hope he doesn't run into any trouble on the way. The father added, we'll be using the teleportation gate that Arabella prepared. What could possibly go wrong? I suppose I was worrying for nothing. In any case, I'd say we've raised our children very well. Meanwhile, the children of other families are busy fighting over the position of family head. We'll have to make a clear decision one day as well, but I won't favor any of them. At that moment, Den walked in and spoke. Father, mother. Oh, father is here. I have come. I'm preparing to leave now. The mother beside him chimed in. You've brought the sigil I gave you and Neon right. Of course. If you really find yourself in a difficult situation, go to the place I told you about and show them the sigil. Yes, mother, I remember. Were the people there your old colleagues? That's right. They are very close friends of mine. Even though it's been a long time, I'm sure they will help you. The father thought to himself, don't tell me our Den is going there. And to truly start down the path of an assassin. He stopped thinking and continued, when you get to the capital, find Duke Thermion before you enter the academy. The Duke will help you. Yes, father, Den has grown up so much that he's about to leave us like this. Ha, let's send him off with a smile, my lady. Hurry up now. We won't go too far. The boy thought, now that it's almost time to go, my feet suddenly feel so heavy. Then he said, well then, I'll be on my way. Watching Den's figure slowly depart, the father gave an order to the man behind him. Gilad, follow him carefully. Make sure Den reaches the teleportation gate safely, then return and report to me. Yes, master. In another room. Long time no see, Shadow. You know what to do, don't you? Now pay close attention and see if any unusual situations occur when he reaches the gate. Hearing this, the shadowy figure gradually disappeared. Elsewhere. Young master, seeing something like this with your own eyes is truly impressive. That's right. This is the teleportation gate that my eldest sister prepared beforehand. Lady Arabella is truly remarkable, Den replied. She is. Now I understand why. She spent a whole year investing in this. If I go in there, will the instant teleportation activate? Probably. He thought to himself, I wonder how much effort she put into this. Instant teleportation can't be done just by rearranging code like other spells. You also have to combine the rearrangement with a continuous transfer of magical energy to be able to cast it. However, the gate my sister installed is a perfect device that meets all the conditions for using instant teleportation. Well then, young master, take care. You too, stay healthy. And so Den walked toward the gate, thinking to himself, my sister said all I have to do is channel magical energy into the gate, and it'll activate. At that moment, Den spread his hand out and channeled his energy into it. A powerful light quickly burst from the spatial gate. The moment he opened his eyes again, a light illuminated everything around the forest. The scene changes. People are bustling about cheerfully, and Den has arrived at the entrance gate of the capital city, Athena. I have been waiting for you, young Master Denso Grace. I am Levis Asma, captain of the Temerian family's Night Squad No. 1. Den replied, so it is you, sir. He thought to himself, and it's quite something to have the captain himself come to greet me. The man continued, from now on we will escort you. Secure the route. Yes, captain. Well then, let's depart immediately. We look forward to assisting you. He thought, now that I'm actually here, this feels so strange. I never thought the day would come when I'd set foot in the center of the Athena Empire, a place I once hated, and as a promising figure no less. The scene changes and voices can be heard. Come and see some magic. You don't get a chance like this every day. Hurry, it's cheap. 3 magically frozen skewers for only 1 silver coin. He thought, what a bunch of strange things. I never expected the capital to be this lively. Over there is the Temerian family's mansion. Hearing this from the man, Den looked intently toward the space in front of them. The mansion is so grand, he thought, but something feels very strange. It feels as if someone is watching me. Could it just be my imagination? A short while later, welcome, young Master Den. Thank you for the warm welcome. Their ranks are so orderly. Such impeccable etiquette and ceremony, yet it all feels so natural and powerful. This is completely different from back home in the South. Den Grace, it is an honor to meet you, Duke Hermine. Oh, it's been a long time. Den, how have you been? Your journey must have been exhausting. Please come inside and rest. Oh, just one look, and I can tell you've changed completely from how you were 7 years ago. Among the children your age, no. Even when compared to those a year or two older, I doubt anyone could match you. Aiken must be very proud of you. You're too kind, Your Grace. While you may not be on par with Beck Jang yet, please rest comfortably while you prepare for the Academy's entrance exam. I will also arrange for a servant, exclusively for you. So if you need anything at all, just let them know. Yes, Your Grace, I will. Ah, by the way, how has Layla been? He replied, of course she's doing well, but have you two had a fight or something? Den asked, pardon me? What do you mean by that? Your Grace. Lately, whenever your name comes up, she seems quite unhappy. Really, I'm not sure why myself. Perhaps it's partly the pressure from the entrance exam, but for Layla, I'm sure she'll pass with ease. I'll go see her and ask what's wrong. Why would she be like that? Is it because she's hitting puberty? All right, let's talk about this later. And, by the way, don't be too harsh on her, all right? Yes, he continued. You'll understand soon enough. What could that mean? Ah, let's get you to your room to rest now. A servant will show you the way. In that case, please rest well, Your Grace. All right, thank you. So, I'll be staying here for about a week to prepare for the entrance exam. This guest room is a little too extravagant, though. First, I'll unpack my things. Then, I'll look for the training grounds. Meanwhile, a girl's figure stepped into the room. All right, I'll take you to the training grounds. That voice. Den, what took you so long? I've been waiting for ages. Layla, it's been so long. How have you been? The girl replied, yeah, I'm fine. Great, actually. But, isn't there something you want to say to me? Huh, what are you talking about? Why didn't you write me any letters? Hearing this, Den looked confused. Letters? Why didn't you send any letters? You could have at least told me you were coming. I meant to reply, but I forgot. I'm sorry. And you think sorry just fixes everything. But I came to see you in person, didn't I? I was so busy preparing to leave the capital, I just didn't have the energy for anything else. Please forgive me this time. She must be furious. So what can I do to apologize? I'll do anything you say. Hearing this, Layla looked at him suspiciously and asked, you don't really mean that, do you? I just need to get out of this situation for now. But what could she possibly want? So what should I do for you? All right then, how about a little match? A match? Yeah, a duel with me. You don't have a problem with that, do you? Fine, let's do it. Are you sure you won't regret this? Don't let my appearance fool you. I've gotten so much stronger, you can't even compare me to how I was before. I'm not the same person who learned how to release mana from you anymore, he thought, looking at that confident expression. It seems she's grown a lot in the past 7 years, he continued. Now that you mention it, I remember you said in your last letter that you won some competition. Layla replied, oh, so you do remember. I won the Dantor Cup hosted by the royal family. He continued, ah, that's right. That's the one. It's a tournament for boys and girls under 15 in the Empire, isn't it? That's right. It's a very high-level competition. If you had come, you would have definitely faced me in the finals. What a shame. He continued, well, we can settle that regret right now. Layla asked again, are you sure it's okay? You still have your entrance exam. What if you get hurt? He thought, who should be worried about whom? He continued, I'll be fine. Good, it's late today. Let's have a match first thing tomorrow morning. Scene change. Using training weapons. You can't be still using bladeless weapons, can you? He replied, no, this is just a light spar. In that case, training weapons should be fine. No matter how skilled a warrior is, they can't handle every situation. What if you get hurt during the match? Don't worry. Heller, the best healer in the Empire, works for my family. What if something happens that even Heller can't fix? That's the kind of mindset you need to have if you want to wield a weapon with a blade. It's just a spar. Why are you being so serious? Fine training weapons, it is right. Not fine. Bring me the training weapons. Yes, my lady, he thought. Just as the rumors said, she's become a very proud young lady. People even say she'll soon reach the same level as her two highly accomplished brothers. As a knight, perhaps Duke Thermion has produced the first female head of the family, as expected back then. Releasing mana became a great motivation. Image from memory. Layla's inner thought. Thanks to you, I was able to learn the basics of mana control much faster than my peers, and now I have 2 mana cores. I've waited so long for this day. I wonder, will you be sad if I win? Just then, the butler arrived, interrupting Layla's train of thought. My lady, the weapons have arrived. Thanks. Den, huh? Right. Since it's a training weapon, it's pretty light. Is this okay? On the battlefield, I can use anything. Well then, so shall we begin? All right. Looking at Den getting into his attack stance, Layla thought to herself, good thing I've faced a spear user at the Dantor Cup before. It wasn't difficult. A spear has a long range, but its destructive power drops sharply when the distance is closed. In that case, I'll just charge in. Putting a stop to her thoughts, Layla rushed forward with all her might. Just as her sword was about to touch Den, her eyes widened in shock. That's it. Huh? Where did he suddenly disappear to? Before she knew it, the tip of Den's spear was right next to her. Got you. When did you get there? It's a good thing this is a training weapon. If it were a real one, this could have been serious. But I definitely touched his sword, Layla thought. No, I can't believe it. Come on. Well, then shall we start over? The same method won't work, so move carefully. She thought, it's been a while, so I was a little tense. This time, I absolutely won't hold back. Layla glanced in another direction, and from the balcony, her father was also watching their match. He thought Duke Thermion came to check the final result. I know exactly what he's thinking. He was so worried because I worked so hard after winning the Dantor Cup. Today, I'll put all those worries to rest. Get ready. My father is watching, so I'm going all out. Bring it on. At that moment, Layla slammed her staff onto the ground. Instantly, a blast of wind pressure shot straight towards where Den was standing. With his hands, he began to exert his strength. He quickly spun his weapon in a circle, blocking the wind that was aimed right at him. How about that, Den? Not so easy, is it? This is far from over. Give it your all. The fight between them has been evenly matched so far. I don't know how it will turn out. But what is this uneasy feeling? The smile on Den's face had completely vanished. He looked like a warrior about to go into battle. As she unleashed a flurry of powerful moves, Den used only the staff in his hand to completely block all of Layla's esoteric techniques. Suddenly, she shifted her stance. Layla stepped back, preparing a thrusting attack. The opportunity came, but Den simply leaned to one side, successfully dodging the blow. Then he used his staff to parry Layla's sword, leaving her stunned and frozen on the spot. Looks like I've won this time too. In another corner, others were also watching the match. Den won again. She lost again. What do you think, Asma? Perhaps this will make Layla a little less arrogant. Hearing this, he froze for a moment, then broke into a cold sweat and replied, So, you knew about that, sir. Of course I knew. She was already showing signs of it before the Dante Cup, and after winning the championship, it became fully apparent. I was going to have a serious talk with her, but I thought it would be better if she realized it on her own. That was a wise decision. In your opinion, how many mana cores does that boy have? Looking towards the duel, he answered the old man. At least 3 cores. I think differently. He has at least 2 and at most 3. Why do you think so, sir? Look closely. Although his speed with the spear overwhelms Layla, it's not because he's faster. What Layla lacks experience in is strategy and movement. You think you can block all of my movements. I can see all of them. Is he a diligent swordsman? Probably. He must not have any real combat experience. Even I can hardly believe what I'm seeing. The time Layla grew the most. Image from memory. Hello, Count Soares. Was after the inspection tour of the South 7 years ago after she met Den, and perhaps it will be the same this time. It's quite interesting to watch. The young lady won the Dante Cup, but she can't use her full strength. Clearly, Count Soares trained her very harshly. No, you don't understand him at all. He may be strict, but he's not the type to train someone harshly. Unlike me. And Den doesn't need harsh training. Yes, what do you mean by that, sir? An overwhelming talent that ordinary people wouldn't even dare to challenge. Den is a genius. With the spear in his hand, Den once again sent the wooden sword in Layla's hand flying. This left her astonished once again. Perhaps he didn't participate because he wasn't interested in the Dante Cup. Is that so, he thought? No way. How could he not be interested in the Dante Cup, the tournament that every boy and girl in the Empire dreams of? Right now, no one his age can compete with his abilities, the old man thought to himself. Layla, I hope you realize your own shortcomings in this duel. If you let go of that arrogance and focus more on your sword training, you could completely surpass your brothers. As I thought, it's Den. I can't beat him at all. He's a genius, but I never imagined the gap between us was this huge. You're tired. Let's stop here. Layla replied, all right, you win. Den's thought Duke Hermine's wish has been fulfilled. She must have felt it by now. That she isn't number one. From behind him, Layla asked, how in the world did you train? Den replied, hard work. Who doesn't work hard? You just have to work harder. I'm leaving. You won't win next time. All right, I'll be waiting. Layla's thought, Den is the only kid I've ever admired. Image from memory, yeah, but from the third match. Your feet seem to be moving half a step forward. At the same time, he's the one I want to surpass. Just need some guidance and patience. Okay. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. A brilliant success. I want to prove I'm not a little girl anymore. Why do you keep getting further and further ahead of me? Just you wait. Next time, I will definitely win. Narrator. The Royal Academy's entrance exam is no different from a festival. Talented individuals from all over the empire flock to take it. And if you include their families and their entourages, nearly thousands of people gather in the capital. The number of applicants for the Royal Academy this time is approximately 6,000. Anyone can apply as long as they pay the exam fee, but 2/3 of them don't pass the first test. Now, after the end of the first preliminary exam, more than 2,000 people are preparing for the second specialized exam. In another place, 2,000 people passed the first exam. A little more than that. It seems quite lively. How many do you think will pass this exam? At most 200, I'd say. How are the children in this year's entrance exam? There are some with potential. Isn't the summary for the first exam finished yet? This is Professor Denabo, head of the magic department. It's still being compiled. So who do you think will get the highest score? This woman is Ingrid, head of the tactics department. The top score in swordsmanship belongs to the daughter of Duke Hermine. Correct? That's right. She's the one who won the Dante Cup. The final match was magnificent. Duke Hermine has raised his children well. The woman continued, it seems the top swordsmanship applicant is someone to look forward to. This is Den Pineso, head of the summoning department. What's there to look forward to? It's practically a sure thing. This young man is Professor Estrander, head of the swordsmanship department. Indeed, she has no competition. When will we ever get a talent like that again? My thoughts are a little different. What is it? This is a letter of recommendation from Sidrin. It's stamped with the seal of the Nerusun Magic Tower and contains mana. That means Sidrin himself actually recommended someone. Well, no matter who it is, they can't beat the person who won the Dante Cup. Siren, who is famous for not taking any disciples, sent a letter of recommendation for a 14-year-old level 3. Level 3. Who on earth is that person? His name is Sogris. Hearing that, everyone's eyes widened in astonishment. Count Sogris. The others started murmuring, the Sogris family again. They already have 2 geniuses in the magic and summoning departments, and now even their youngest son is recommended by Sir Sidrin. If it's the Sogris family, he must be extraordinary. 2 of the continent's supreme families applying at the same time. This must be a hot topic. But wait, isn't that family famous for their clerical arts? But it's a recommendation from a mage. It seems the Sogris family is becoming known for magic now. Oh, and I thought he would surely join the clerical arts department. If he joined my department, he and Arabella would be so powerful, he thought. After all, at the Royal Academy, you need magic. At that moment, someone else came rushing over from a distance. Sorry to interrupt, but the results for the first exam have been tallied. Oh, in that case, let's quickly look at the numbers. System Board Swordsmanship Department, 1,367 people. Magic Department, 227 people. Summoning Department, 152 people. Swordsmanship Department, 1,367 people. Magic Department, 227 people. Wow. As expected, the Swordsmanship Department has the most by a huge margin. Oh, and of course, Thermion's name is at the top. Another person chimed in. Den Sogris? I don't see his name. Really? What about Sidrin's letter of recommendation? He's not in my department either. Hey, are there any applicants not on the list? About that. There is one applicant who applied for the free major. The free major, and And among the 6,000 applicants, Densogris achieved the highest score on the first exam. What Densogris ranked first elsewhere. I've been here for a month already. Time flies so fast. The fight with Layla feels like it just happened yesterday. The first exam is already over, and now I'm just waiting for the results. Luckily, the test wasn't hard. Just then, Layla ran up to him. "Hey, Den, did you get your results? What was your rank?" Yes, I between. An announcement sound plays. Academy exam results first place. Whoa, I got first place. Ugh, of course it was you. So annoying I missed out on first place. Just how in the world did you study? Den replied. Mostly from the questions my sister sent me, of course. Layla said, I saw those too, but I still found the military studies part the hardest. I thought I'd have an advantage since I studied it directly in my past life. Layla continued, what does a 14-year-old kid know about tactics strategy and military management? Den replied, I found that part the easiest. Don't you think it's interesting? What? Are you even human? It's not just military studies, but also art music and even the history of the Runic Empire. That's my specialty. As you can imagine, there are a lot of things I picked up unconsciously while I was fighting on the battlefield. Anyway, where are you taking the second round of exams? There are 3 test locations in total, I think. 3 places. But did you really apply for the free major? Be honest with me. Besides clerical arts and summoning, what else is there? I'll tell you later eventually. Den, just why did you choose the free major? No matter how I think about it, I don't get it. Because I want it all. The passing rate is extremely low. I heard that in the free major, you can take any class you want until graduation without having to choose a specific major. Until graduation, and you even get to do research with the specialized professors, right? Layla cut in. That's because no one knows about that, so nobody applies. Don't tell me you're trying to fail on purpose because you don't want to study with me. Of course not. So you really think you're going to pass. Besides clerical arts and summoning. What else do you know? Spit it out. Ha ha. But do you think I should tell you? The scene changes to another location, so we're finally gathered in one place. To take the exam for the free major, you have no choice but to pass in 4 specializations. It seems he's really going to be tested on summoning, clerical arts, and magic. It's so different from the core and the magic circle that it's almost impossible to pass. What on earth is he thinking? Den Pineso, the head of the summoning department, continued. Initially, there were some who passed in 2 specializations, sains for the free major, but most couldn't pass. Nieti, even a single specialization right. Professor Dambo, head of the magic department, interjected. It's better to apply for either clerical arts or magic than for the free major. The free major was established about 200 years ago, right? But almost no one has ever passed. It wasn't this difficult in the beginning. Because unlike now, hundreds of years ago, the academy needed talented people. It was the era of conquest. They had to recruit all kinds of talent. If someone had potential, they were nurtured. But it's not like that anymore, so the standards have gotten higher and higher. So applicants won't apply for what they're best at the head of the clerical arts department asked. Then why let a department exist that no one applies to and no one can pass because of its symbolism? A symbol that only the empire's greatest talents can pass. Phew. That's also important, even if it's now a withered major that only exists to maintain its name. I looked it up and saw that in the last 100 years, only 2 people have passed. For this exam, 1 person dropped out, and the other was the former emperor. That means, unless you're a genius, you can't possibly pass. Since he's the youngest son of the war hero Archon Soras, not some commoner, I was half expecting an arrogant little brat. Based on our deliberations, we could just let him in. But as professors, we can't be so careless. Is this kid really confident enough to challenge our legacy? At the second examination hall, I am Denzel Grace, applying to the Department of Liberal Studies of the Royal Academy. Do you have any idea what it means to apply for the Liberal Studies program? Of course. I'm aware that I must achieve a passing score in all 3 major disciplines. You're Den, aren't you? It's not too late to back out. I hold Count Source in the highest regard. He is the greatest magic instructor in the Empire. I don't want to see his son fail. And go home. Thank you for your kind words, Professor, but I came here fully prepared to give it my all. Dinabos thought. He's right. If he was the type of kid to give up over a few words, He wouldn't have applied in the first place. The professor speaks again. Very well. If that's your decision, then so be it. There are 3 exams, one for each major. If you fail even one of them, you will be automatically disqualified. I understand. Then let's begin with the summoning department as we decided. Just then, a woman stepped forward to stand before Den. Den's thought Professor Pineso from the summoning department. She is the highest-ranked summoner in the Antong Empire, having set the record by successfully summoning a Tier 2 or higher beast 3 times. The woman continued, the test for the summoning department is quite simple. Impress me using any method related to the art of summoning. Den's thought, just as I thought. It's a free-form test based on her whims with no set standards or structure. Den spoke up, in that case, Professor, could you please summon a beast for me? What, you want me to summon a beast? Den replied, yes, any summoned beast will do. What in the world, an examinee asking the professor to perform the summoning. Hearing this, Dinabo broke into a cold sweat. Pineso's thought, what is he plotting? He hasn't shown any abilities yet, so I thought he was just going to talk theory. Does he think this is just a chance to see a high-level summoning? After a moment of deep thought, she turned her head aside and spoke. All right. How bold, but very interesting. You certainly have an appreciation for the unusual, don't you? Now open your eyes and watch closely. And so Den fixed his gaze upon her. On the other side, the woman was muttering an incantation. The moment her eyes lit up, she let out a shout that echoed everywhere. Tier 4, answer my call. Instantly, a spatial rift opened in the sky, the force of it knocking back everyone nearby. The 2 department heads stared in shock. Is that the frenzied summoned beast Ezra Den's thought? What a terrifying roar. It's a truly vicious beast, the most ferocious of all Tier 4 summons. It attacks everything it sees except for its summoner. I wasn't expecting much since this is just an entrance exam. But this is going to be very interesting. Looking up from a distance, the woman spoke again. Well, I've summoned a beast of my choosing. Now, what do you plan to do? Hearing her, Den simply smiled silently. Ezra is the most savage of the Tier 4 beasts. Even a squad of elite knights would struggle to defeat it. What in the world is he planning? Step by step, Den walked towards the monster. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Stop right now if you provoke Ezra. The beast's roar echoed all around. When that black creature is standing in front of you, you just have to prove yourself to it in any way possible. True, but if proving yourself means throwing yourself into a pit of fire, that's not going to happen. Don't you worry. Hearing this, Venoso broke out in a cold, astonished sweat. Just then, Dem began to recite the incantations. As he spoke the words, the monster's eyes gradually changed. It became unusually docile. There now, good boy. This guy really has much better luck than Genfu, Pineso, thought to himself, finding it unbelievable. I can't believe the ferocious Ezrak would submit so easily. Is that a mana thread connecting to Ezrak? The color is faint, so it isn't submission, but it completely erased Ezrak's hostility. From a distance, however, he gave a little smile. Haha, even seeing it with my own eyes, I still can't believe it. Could it be innate empathy? How incredible, the girl thought. Did he approach Ezrak, quickly analyze its mana thread, create a similar one, and then connect it to himself? No, because there's no such method. So maybe this is the most suitable method for taming. It's an ability that surpasses even my own, and I was the one Master always used to praise. With a talent like this, the future is truly something to look forward to. Shaking off her thoughts, the girl walked toward him and said, Your abilities have been fully confirmed. Great courage, calm judgment, and solid fundamental skills. There is no longer any doubt. You have passed the exam. Not far away, the 2 guild masters spoke in unison. I agree. Thank you. The scene changes. It was over in just 30 minutes. In that case, you're the valedictorian. What's wrong? I heard you were the top student in swordsmanship, weren't you? You're the real top student. Cheer up. They even threw a party to celebrate us passing. You're not eating. You should eat up. Layla thought to herself, I can't believe it. I never expected the gap between us to be this huge. It feels like an irresistible force, a natural disaster. Watching the girl's figure slowly retreat from behind Den, called out, Layla. She wants to be alone. Just let her be. Still don't worry too much. Layla will get over it. Have you contacted your father yet? The Count must be very proud. Yes, everyone was very happy. He continued, "For the independent major, it's well-deserved." Everyone there was surprised. "The exam is over now, so you should get a good rest and prepare for the start of school." Den replied, "Yes, thanks to your care, Your Grace, I had a very good time." "That's right. Have you thought about the item you want to commission from the forge?" "I'm thinking of a sword, but I don't have a plan yet. The thing is, my body is still growing, so I don't know what kind of sword I should have made. I'll think about it a little more since this is a good opportunity." "You're right. There's no rush. We'll leave it at that. Your Grace, you should go to the Duchess now." "I know. I'll be on my way then." Watching his figure slowly depart, Den's thoughts drifted. It seems the Duchess's illness is still ongoing. An image from his memory surfaced. Fortunately, her symptoms haven't worsened. But they haven't gotten better either. It's been like this for years. It's such a shame. As someone who's never seen a family member suffer from illness, it's a feeling I can't possibly understand. Should I go comfort Layla? 2 days later, a voice echoed all around. "It's a pleasure to meet you, new students of the Royal Academy. I am Juan Homet, headmaster of the Academy. Seeing the new students who have overcome fierce competition and are standing here today, I believe the future of the Empire is very bright. You are all talented individuals of the Empire, but especially among this year's new students. There are many outstanding talents. There is even a student who was accepted into the independent major, which only 2 people have managed in the last 100 years. This student was approved by the 3 deans of the sorcery, magic, and summoning departments." The others began to whisper excitedly, "Oh my God, he got into the independent major. I can't believe it. Who could be that talented?" The old man continued, "As the representative for the new student's valedictorian, Den Sogrit, please step forward." The others whispered, "That's the kid who got into the independent major. What kind of blessing is upon House Sogrit? Do you see that black thing over there with him? It looks so majestic I can see it clearly. Oh, so he's the valedictorian. You've raised him well, Acheron. It's nothing compared to you. Raising 2 sons is completely useless. It's their little sister's entrance ceremony, and neither of them even showed up. The older one is away on deployment, and the younger one ran away from home. On the other hand, you have 2 daughters, which is wonderful. I'm so jealous. But don't you also have Layla?" Hearing this, the man's gaze grew sad for a moment as he looked toward his daughter, thinking, "I wish my wife could have come too." "Yes." Venoso spoke up. "Have you been close with summoned beasts since you were a child?" "Yes, Professor. As expected, it's an innate ability for harmonization." She thinks, "What a monster. This unimpressive-looking kid can do so much more than other summoners." The professor wonders, with Den's harmonization ability, could he summon a familiar from beyond the horizon? She thinks beyond the horizon. A different world with familiars that lost their connection over 100 years ago. Let's see. The familiars there choose their own mages. It's possible. So you're the rumored Denso Grass. I hope your talents will shine at this academy. I will keep that in mind, Headmaster. Next up is the oath by the student representative. He thinks, I finally made it into the academy. It took a long time to get here. But I won't waste this new life I've been given. This is where it all begins, in the academy's main auditorium. And with that, I conclude the introduction to the academy. We will take a short break before the next part, so please feel free to get something to eat and relax. Another voice speaks up. Listen here. From now on, a lot of people will be targeting you. Whether their intentions are good or bad, you need to be careful if anyone offers you anything. You have to think it through carefully. I hear there are a lot of strange people here who weren't raised right at home. Yeah, I know. Voices rise up. Don't refuse, join us. Club activities are the glory of the academy. In our club. Sorry, I have no intention of joining. Ha ha ha. Thanks to this, we've got a new recruit. Grab the redhead over there. This is the talent we've been looking for. Layla continues, the seniors are recruiting for clubs during the break. He thinks, I remember my oldest sister telling me there are a lot of interesting clubs. At the same time, a voice shouts from the crowd, find the top student from the Soares family, Numba. We have to get him to join our club. Hearing that Layla cuts in, so everyone's targeting you. What should we do? First, let's get out of here. Where are you going? You should join the Body Beauty Club where you can cultivate and train a beautiful body. Hey freshman, what do you think of our Map Exploration Research Society? If you join now, you'll get a new map. our astrology research society, a society of the most brilliant talents. Next to him is the daughter of the Thum Yen family. We can't let the Duke's beloved daughter get away. Layla continues. Ugh, I'm not joining. She thinks to herself, I'm used to being chased by enemies. But this is the first time I've been in a situation like this. So this is how tiring it is to be the top student. Others whisper, is that Kenta Street View? That's right. I heard he became a professor right after retiring from the Royal Knights. Wow, what an amazing person. But there's one thing that's a real headache. It's the fact that a new student enrolled in the free major after, 15 years? All this time, it's been a cushy position for him. All he had to do was write a paper now and then and get some decent results. Now that comfortable life is over. It seems he has to prepare for class. If I were him, I'd be annoyed too. He continues, the orientation for new students is over. He thinks this is ridiculous. Why would a student pass and enroll at a time like this? At the same time, Den stands before a door, his eyes deep in thought, saying nothing. You're Denso Grass, right? You're early. Hello, Professor. It's a pleasure to meet you. All right, come on in. A little while later, he thinks, I worked so hard to get this position. Head of the Free Major Department, Kenta Streetfield. I came here to rest. Not to teach. If it's about maps, I've had enough of those nights. I'm so sick of mentoring knights. Yes. Kenta asks, why did you apply for the free major? To do everything I want to. You don't intend to switch to a specialized major. Number 1, I don't want to lose this opportunity. Kenta thinks, if this keeps up, I'll have no choice but to mentor him. Is there no way out? Wait a minute. It seems he didn't take the swordsmanship test. The reason must be because he's not confident, right? Kenta speaks up. Hey, do you know anything about swordsmanship? Swordsmanship. I don't mean to be critical, but since you're in the free major and I'm your professor, I should at least know what your skill level with a sword is. Den thinks, why is he suddenly asking about swordsmanship? I get the feeling I'm not welcome here. Den replies, it's not that I'm not interested in swordsmanship. Perfect. Then let me test you. All right. This isn't good. He thinks he took the bait. Kenta continues, in that case, let's go to Dark Tin in my training ground. He thinks, after all, I have the right to evaluate my students. I'll just use the excuse that his swordsmanship is poor to make him leave. Professor Kentis invited him over, trying to gain his trust by saying there were plenty of swords here, and he could just pick whichever one he wanted. Den readily agreed. Den stared intently at the swords scattered across the ground. It was a mess, he thought. Is this really a training ground? Even if there are no students in the General Studies Department, this is a bit much. Den's voice was cautious and confused, and he wasn't sure which one would be suitable. Finally, Den found a sword that suited him. The professor, looking slightly disdainful, asked, is that really good enough? Den immediately agreed. To him, that sword was more than enough. The professor said, if you can hit me with that sword even once you pass. He spoke with a look of contempt, as if to reassure him it won't be hard, because I'll only move within a 2-step radius. Den didn't want to deny it, nor did he want to respond to that statement. He could only agree, and the battle was about to begin. The professor was a bit skeptical of Den's skill. He looked at Den and thought, he accepted my conditions so calmly. Is he that confident? Just then Den received the signal to start from the professor. Getting ready, Den suddenly shot forward like a gust of wind about to touch the professor with his sword. The professor was quite surprised by Den's ability, thinking to himself, whoa, he's fast. So this is how he got into the General Studies Department, huh? Despite his thoughts, the professor's skills were also formidable, and he dodged Den's last move. Suddenly, Den's sword swung straight up in front of the professor's face. It startled the professor, but luckily he managed to block the strike with his own sword in time. The professor, now a bit panicked, thought, whew, that was a close call. Using an unorthodox sword style? Is he some kind of sword-wielding idiot? Den was pushed back by the counterattack. The professor saw Den's fighting stance. With new deductions, he thought, moreover, that kid. He's like a swordsman from the battlefield. It's not the stance of someone from the nobility or the knightly class. At this point, the professor started to frown, his arrogant confidence from before gone. Den had no intention of stopping. He began to advance quickly, unleashing countless strikes, aiming to touch the professor. Den was truly serious now, moving as fast as the wind. The professor started to find himself in a difficult position. He couldn't believe it. A level 6 like him was having to concentrate this hard. He asked himself, am I fighting a 14-year-old? He doesn't even need the handicap. The professor was frowning, blocking Den's blades. As for Den, he was focused on his goal. He just kept pressing forward with his sword, paying no mind to anything else. The professor saw Den's fighting form. The professor was suddenly reminded of someone. He thought back in alarm. This stance. It looks so familiar. The scene flashes back to the past during a war. The professor, leading a squad, was looking at his opponent's side. He couldn't help but exclaim, amazing. To think the Trinic Empire has someone this powerful. But that person had no medals or banners symbolizing a knight. It turned out in that moment. The professor had seen Den from his previous life fighting against countless soldiers of the Trinic army. The past, Den defeated them all by himself. Professor Kentis truly wondered who that person was. But one thing hadn't changed Den's running stance from his past life to this one. While the professor was lost in thought, Den managed to land a hit with his sword. The professor was annoyed with himself for being so careless. With a tch, a smile appeared on Den's face, but he quickly suppressed it and said, Professor, I believe I've met the requirement. The annoyed professor frowned, but had to accept. The sword in his hand lowered as he replied, You passed. Den started to breathe heavily, looking tired. He thought, if it weren't for the handicap, this test would have been really hard to pass. Meanwhile, the professor began to acknowledge Den's talent. He thought, as expected, the skills of a royal knight wouldn't get you far. But this kid is a genius. A special kind of genius. Professor Kentas frowned, staring at Den, thinking, even with the handicap, he was on par with me, someone who's reached level 6. Now I get it. Why he wasn't excited about the swordsmanship test. After analyzing a storm of thoughts in his head, the professor asked Den, with skills like these, why didn't you apply to the swordsmanship department? Den answered honestly, because I thought my family would be sad. The professor was quite surprised by that answer, staring at Den. But then the professor seemed to be thinking about something. An idea popped into his head. He thought, Den's father is a master of spearmanship. His 2 older sisters are masters of magic and summoning. Could it be that he chose all 3 to meet his family's expectations? Suddenly Den asked, Professor, is everything confirmed now? The professor looked at Den and replied, yes, that's right. You can go, I'll send you the notification soon. But inside Professor Kennis's head, he was still thinking about Den's choice of major. It's not that he isn't confident in his swordsmanship. I was wrong. Den thanked the professor and then left. The professor, looking like he was about to cry, racked his brain as he stared at Den's departing back. I wonder if the 7 department heads who acted as examiners have ever felt like this. All my plans to get rid of him and live a comfortable life have gone up in smoke. Professor Kentis closed his eyes, his head aching as he thought back to the person he had met in the battle long ago. Who in the world was that with such an imposing figure from behind? He had taken down countless Greenic soldiers. Suddenly, a flash of insight struck him. It seemed he had found his answer. The person he had always been curious about was none other than that student, Den, who was just here. Meanwhile, Den had gone down to the school grounds and was discussing what just happened with his older sister. She asked in surprise, Did you really pass the test? Den replied nonchalantly, Yeah, I guess so. His sister started thinking seriously and said, That's strange. Professor Kentis isn't the type to pass a student so easily. This is really surprising. She continued talking about the professor. That professor only attends the regular meeting once a year, but this time the principal called him in. He really hates troublesome things. Den felt that the professor seemed to live so apathetically. He answered honestly, Yeah, he really is someone who likes to live as he pleases. This took Den's sister by complete surprise. She took her younger brother by the shoulders and said gently, I'm so glad nothing happened. She then gave Den a happy smile. Den felt loved and happy, thinking, my second sister didn't praise me by saying, That's my Den, or anything. She was just relieved that I was safe and sound. He then smiled and said, Yeah. And that was one of the reasons Den loved his second sister. Suddenly, his eldest sister ran up to the 2 of them, asking in a frantic voice, Oh, Den, I was wondering where you were. So you were here with her. It turns out the eldest sister came to ask about the test results. She asked, Youngest brother, you passed the test, right? As the 3 siblings were talking happily, people in the distance were gossiping about them. One person said, I thought just Arabella and Claire alone were amazing enough. But now their youngest brother is even better than his older sisters. What kind of family are they, anyway? The scene changes to the Academy's dormitory. The person in charge is introducing himself. I am Mark House, responsible for all dormitory matters. The dorms are divided into 3 zones based on entrance scores. Among them, the highest-ranking area is called Dantech 1, named after the first emperor. The dorm manager showed Den to his room. Because you are the top student of the liberal arts major, the cafeteria and training grounds are all of a higher standard. Furthermore, there's a lounge and a magic projection room. There's also secret equipment, the manager said with a very serious expression. Den didn't understand what was so secret about it. The manager continued, it might not happen, but depending on your grades, there's a chance you might have to leave this zone. Arabella and Claire were also in this zone, but only until they graduated. Den thought excitedly, as expected of my sisters. Then the dorm manager gave Den his keys and said, we will issue you 2 keys just in case. So if you lose one, please report it to me. Den took them, understanding. The manager continued, be careful from now on. There are a lot of strange students here. They're not bad people, but unexpected things can happen sometimes. All right, go check your room. If you need anything, report it to the logistics office. The manager was reminding him of the remaining details. Then he left. Den was now wondering whether he should go check out his room or not. He then strode excitedly down the dormitory hallway, seeing how luxurious the place he was about to live in was. But one thing made him wonder, why was it so quiet here? Something was very strange. He couldn't sense any human presence in this building, as if everyone had vanished. How odd. He wondered what on earth was going on. Then he decided to try spreading his sensory aura to see if anyone was here. A stream of blue energy began to radiate from him, weaving into every nook and cranny of the building. He caught the faint smell of oil and heard the soft click of gears. He realized it was a trap. A smirk played on his lips as he said, so that's what this is. A little welcoming party. So someone set this whole thing up. They were watching Den from afar on a monitor, saying doubtfully, why did he stop moving? Does he really have good instincts? The blue-haired boy asked, hey, Arnold, is it possible he knows there's a trap? The brown-haired man adjusted his glasses and replied, absolutely not. He continued confidently, my Julat family is the best family of hunters. We've been around for hundreds of years. I'm very confident in my traps. He was the eldest son of Baron Juliet, his name Arnold Juliet, a third-year student in the marksmanship department. Arnold confidently crossed his arms, looked at Dana, and replied. A short-haired boy asked, so, is it dangerous? Arnold answered, of course. I've removed anything that could cause injury. It's just to make him a laughingstock. Another boy laughed gleefully and said, I'm really looking forward to this first welcoming ceremony. That kid is going to look so pathetic by the time he gets here. Someone else said, are you sure this is okay? He's from the Showgrace family, you know. Another person replied, so, what? We've all been through a memorable debut ceremony, haven't we? And On laughed smugly, saying, haha, just you wait and see. That guy will probably be scared stiff. The girl next to him suddenly retorted, but he's the top student of the General Studies department, so this time might be different. Both of his older sisters are geniuses. If he got into the General Studies department, then he must be an even bigger genius. The girl speaking was Priscilla Nealiel from the Nealiel family. She was a 4th year in the Department of Neurology. And On angrily shot back, what are you talking about? Are you saying he won't fall for my trap? A friend questioned Anon's attitude. It's not that, but you don't seem very confident, do you? Embarrassed. Anon got even angrier and replied, stop laughing, that's not it at all. Anon pushed up his glasses, thinking about his trap. There's no way he'll spot my trap. I used concealment magic and even greased the mechanism so he wouldn't hear it. Suddenly, Dem started moving, causing a stir in the observation room. Everyone wanted to see him get humiliated. The first trap was a tripwire. The slightest touch, and it would spring. Dem, having already anticipated the trap, gently reached out his hand. A water balloon fell from above, surprising him. But the surprising thing was, Dem had expected more water, not this tiny little balloon. Boom! The floor gave way beneath it, and an incredibly foul smell rose up so bad you couldn't stand it. He raised a hand to cover his nose, sighing at how childish this prank was. The people who set this up probably never expected him to spot it. Everyone was shocked. Then they turned to Anon and complained, "You said he'd absolutely never spot it. What the heck? It's just the beginning, and this is what happens." Anon, also stunned by what happened, tried to make an excuse. It was just a coincidence, that's all. This reassured the others about the prank somewhat. He argued, "I went a little easy on him at the start, that's why he found it. He'll definitely fall for the next ones." The others, half believing, waited to see if he would fall into the trap. They continued to watch, but now Anon felt extremely uneasy, swallowing nervously as Dem kept walking. He easily spotted the second trap. He thought this one was also pretty clumsy and wondered if he should even bother disarming it. With that thought, Dem rushed forward, dodging all the obstacles of the next trap. 1,000 fists rained down, but not a single one touched a hair on his head. Dem stopped right at the edge of a pit but didn't fall in, as everything was under his control. His expression remained calm as he scanned his surroundings for any other traps. The students watching Dem were shocked by his skill. They said, as expected of the family of Count Soros, "I heard his sisters also had a very memorable debut ceremony, and On couldn't believe his traps were being overcome so easily." The students started to speculate, guessing that Dem seemed to know everything that was going to happen. Someone said, did On really think such a simple concealment would work? Meanwhile, On was holding his head in frustration, wondering why his perfect traps were all being beaten. "Damn it!" he cursed, but then his spirits lifted again. On thought it was too early to give up. He can't possibly avoid the final trap. On gritted his teeth in anger, his hands clenched into fists, sweat pouring down, showing his determination. Suddenly, Priscilla asked, "What is the final trap?" Perhaps no one knew that On had prepared one more trap. On gave a small, confident laugh and said, "Ha, you'll see." The scene changes to Dem's location. Suddenly, a giant red dragon charged at him unexpectedly. And it wasn't just one, there seemed to be many. Dem was quite intrigued by this trap, saying, "Oh, summoned beasts this time, huh?" The beasts roared with all their might, trying to appear majestic and powerful. Dem had to admit that the power of these beasts was nothing to scoff at. Suddenly, as Dem observed them, he noticed something seemed a little strange. When he looked closely at the beasts, Dem discovered that they were just illusions. Small details like how their feet and arms would clip through the wall when they swung made it easy for Dem to realize. At that moment, Dem broke into a victorious smile. But it wasn't too flashy. Dem thought, just from the sound alone. They seemed quite powerful. A normal student would have run away by now. Knowing the truth, he no longer felt any fear. There was no need to dodge or retreat. As the beast began to charge, Dem started to use his own technique. Dem thought, I just need to disrupt the flow of magic to stop it. A blue vortex began to form in Dem's hand. Seeing his calm demeanor, the other students were amazed. They said, "That kid isn't running away. On the contrary, he looks pretty calm, huh? Uh-oh, it looks like he's about to do something. Is he gathering magic?" And On couldn't believe it, panicking inwardly. Don't tell me he figured it out in just a split second. That's an unbelievable illusion. How is that possible? Priscilla, standing behind them, couldn't help but sigh in frustration. Then Den unleashed an attack, and the illusions vanished as blue smoke from the strike began to spread. Den smiled with satisfaction, thinking he really wanted to see who had set this trap. Suddenly, the students who were hiding in the other room came running out in a panic. Everyone was shouting, "It's an Igdorak! Get away! Get away! Why is it here?" Everyone started blaming Enod, yelling, "Enod, you bastard, do something!" Enod didn't know what it was or where it came from either. A giant wolf had appeared in the room, forcing everyone to run for their lives. Anna said, "That's not the beast I prepared." The half-man, half-beast monster continued to roar, terrifying them as the screams went on. The four ringleaders were sitting sprawled out in the hallway, terrified. Just then, Den arrived and said, "So this is where everyone was hiding, huh?" The other students were startled to see Den, but then they looked at him like he was their savior. They said, "If that thing is yours, do something about it." "We're sorry. Please get rid of it." Just then, Den raised his hand, and the blue smoke appeared again. A giant circle appeared and struck the beast, which then vanished. It was only then that Enod realized that was just an illusion, too. They had been scared by their own trap. A long-haired guy came up to Den and started a conversation as if nothing had happened. "Humph, the welcoming ceremony is ruined. Hello, new student. I'm Dryan Blanther, a 5th year in the alchemy department. This is the sole direct descendant of Marcus Ballantyne. This guy, Roy Ian, gave Den a practice smile. To get acquainted with one lens of his glasses cracked from fleeing the beast earlier, Roy Ian continued, "You have a good build and you're quite handsome. The girls are all beautiful, so I guess that's to be expected, right?" Den politely greeted him back and shook Dryan's hand. Dryan complimented Den. "You're really good at avoiding traps. I heard you got into the liberal arts major. Is that why Arnold's traps didn't work on you?" Arnold was still sulking over his failed traps while Roy Ian was introducing Arnold to Den. Roy Ian explained that he's the heir to the Gilad family of hunters. They're famous. He's probably the one who designed all these traps. At this point, Den had already figured it out. Who was the one who planned all the traps he had just passed? After he finished speaking, Roy Ian called everyone over to greet Den. Everyone dazedly agreed. Then Roy Ian began the introductions. First up is Priscilla, a 4th year in the neurology department. Roy Ian had a bit of advice for Den. It's best not to mess with her. As someone who dreams of being a cleric, she's relatively kind and beautiful. Priscilla directly pushed him and pushed Roy Ian aside and stepped forward to talk to Den. She said, "Hello, I'm Priscilla Niliel, the abandoned child of the family. Once you're in the neurology department, you can't even dream of getting married." Den smiled politely and replied, "Yes, please take care of me." Priscilla was shocked when she shook Den's hand, thinking in alarm, "Why does he have such strong magical power?" She exclaimed, "This isn't the kind of magical power someone our age can possess. His level is unbelievable." Priscilla's words and her panicked expression surprised Dryan, who was standing beside her. Someone asked, "Is he really that amazing?" and got a reply, "Absolutely yes." Just then, a boy with messy red hair came forward to greet Den, forcing Priscilla, who was still talking, to step back. Priscilla was extremely annoyed. The red-haired guy said, "I'm Soko Hasbro, a 2nd year in the martial arts department. I'm different from those disgusting kids in the bodybuilding club, so don't get the wrong idea." Den recalled the people he had met, looking a bit thoughtful. Soko continued, "Muscles are important, but martial arts isn't about showing them off. If you're interested, just let me know." "I'll teach you what true martial arts is," Soko said with a very proud tone. By now, everyone had introduced themselves to Den, but there was still one person left, Anad. But Anad didn't seem to want to introduce himself, turning his back on everyone. Perhaps Anad still hadn't gotten over the incident. The others called out to Anad, "Hey, introduce yourself. It's your turn." Roy Ian said doubtfully, "Could it be that he's angry over the traps just because of that? How petty." At that moment, Arnold had his eyes closed, thinking about something. Then he turned around and began his introduction. "I'm Arnold Gilad." Den also replied politely, "I'm Denso Grace. Please take care of me." Den thought, he's probably sad, "Because I destroyed all the traps he prepared." Then Den said, "Those were some really good traps. It seems you have a good understanding of mechanisms and triggers, but the most prominent issue is..." Den was praising Anad, but he also offered some personal opinions. This seemed to displease Anad, who said, "What?" Den continued to explain, "Next time, instead of F6 break, try mixing F3 silver with D6 break at a 4:6 ratio. That should work better. A brightness of this level would be less conspicuous." Anad listened to Den's explanation and realized it made sense. Then Den continued to console Anad. "Other than that, anyone would have easily fallen for your trap." The others were amazed by this hidden talent of Den's. Soko angrily scolded Den. "Who are you to teach my Anad how to make traps, huh? That's going too far." After that, the introductions came to an end. Everyone led Den to see his room. They walked together with Den at the back. He thought, "They're certainly an interesting bunch. In any case, I'm not in a bad mood since I've made some good friends." At that moment, everyone was teasing Anad. She said, "You all heard him. He said the trap was very well made." And On, who was a bit embarrassed, got angry when Priscilla called him cute and said, "I'm not a child, so cut it out." Den smiled to himself as he watched everyone having fun, thinking things would get even more interesting from now on. Outside the dorm, Layla's annoyed voice could be heard. "What, we have 6 major classes this semester?" Den explained, "There are only 3 majors. And each major has 2 lectures, right?" Layla continued to grumble, one hand on her hip. "But on top of that, there are general education courses too. What am I going to do? I'll have no time to sleep. Usually first years only have 4 classes. Then she came up with a solution. Wait a minute, we could just skip the first class. Seeing Layla's attitude, Den's lips curled into a slight smirk as he replied, Is that really something you should say? That's why they added 2 general ed classes for military science. Layla, remembering her time in that class, replied, Ah, you're so cruel. I'm terrified of military science. My grades dropped a lot during the first semester exams because of military science. Den agreed. It is a difficult subject. Layla continued, spoken just like the top student. See you later in the swordsmanship major class. I have to go to my general ed lecture. Den asked Layla curiously, What's your general ed lecture? Layla smiled and winked at Den, holding a textbook that read Understanding Cosmetics and Skin. Den chuckled with a mix of helplessness and fondness, thinking, Ha ha, that's so like a girl. After saying goodbye to Layla, the scene shifts to a classroom where 2 students up front are whispering about Den. They said, That's Den Soares. Why is he here? Could he be here for the lecture? No way. As the son of a count, he seems a bit cold, doesn't he? Ah, I think I know what you mean. The 2 students kept whispering, completely ignoring Den. Den, who was standing in a row above them, overheard their words. This is a little uncomfortable. I can hear everything you know. But those thoughts quickly vanished, replaced by thoughts about this military science general ed course. Den thought to himself, based on what I read yesterday, some of the content I already know, and some of it is completely contrary to reality. That makes sense. If theory and practice were always the same, no country would ever lose a war. But the reason military science is taught is because basic theory is crucial. Then the professor for this course entered. The whole class stood up and bowed respectfully. The professor standing at the podium said, What are you doing? Sit down quickly. The professor began to introduce himself before the lesson. He said, I am Francisco Gabios, and I will be in charge of teaching the theory for military science. You can just call me Professor Gabios. The professor had a long scar over his eye, a very stern face, and tanned skin. He continued, After I take attendance, we'll begin the lesson immediately. Den's thoughts after seeing the professor. Resting his chin on his hand, he assessed him. From the look on his face, he seems to be a man with extensive battlefield experience. This should be interesting. A smile touched the corner of his mouth. The professor began his lecture. You must delve deep into military theory for it to be effective on the battlefield. Soldiers can be unpredictable, so a commander must always weigh their options between victory and the lives of his soldiers. Clearly, theory is vital. You must rely on theory to understand the situation on the ground, and by recognizing pieces of information, you will be able to understand the true application of military theory. I am curious to see how many of the talented students here will become masters of the art. What do you all think is the most important thing in war? The professor asked, standing up straight and serious. Suddenly, a hand shot up in front of the class. The professor saw it and said, All right, the student raising their hand, let's hear it. Den answered confidently, Supplies, sir. The professor and the entire class were surprised by Den's correct answer. Den continued with his explanation, victory, triumph, advancement, all of these things, and can only be achieved when the supply line is secure. The professor was quite surprised by his answer. He said, Interesting. We've just begun and a student has already given the correct answer. He then posed another question to this intelligent student. Then do you know the 3 most important things in logistics? Den confidently answered the professor's question. First is strict military management. The supply line from the central command to the front lines isn't just a physical distance, it's an extended system. If even one person has malicious intent, corruption can easily occur. This will soon lead to the consequence of a shortage of supplies. Den recalled his past having encountered situations of supply shortages before. He thought, but in my experience, most supply problems are caused by improper individuals in the middle, even if the shipment was transported safely at the start. The professor immediately agreed with Den's answer. Correct. Exactly. So what's next? He asked. Den answered seriously. Standardization of supplies. If the standards for quantity and weight of supplies are unified, then mass production becomes possible. This greatly aids in rapid supply, allowing units on the front lines to maintain their strategy without losses. The entire class was stunned by Den's words and began to whisper, What is he talking about? This isn't in the textbook." The professor was now completely astonished by the interesting capabilities of this new student. He panicked internally. What in the world is happening? The professor, agreeing with Den's correct answer, told him to continue with the final part. Den continued his answer, saying it was on-site production. The longer a war drags on, the less these two principles will be followed and the quality of supplies will decrease. That requires the soldiers on the battlefield to figure out how to be self-sufficient at a minimum. Although the quantity and quality are quite low, it's still enough emergency rations for a crisis. After speaking, Den gave a confident smile, pleased with his answer. He thought to himself, "These are all things I've witnessed and experienced firsthand on the battlefield." The entire class was now gaping in astonishment at Den's answer. The professor immediately praised Den's answer. He said cheerfully, "Excellent, that was an outstanding answer." Then he asked curiously, "What year are you?" Den replied politely, "First year, sir." The professor was even more astonished, now his mouth hanging open in surprise. He said, "What, you're only a first-year student?" The professor wondered to himself, how could a kid who just enrolled know about this? He stepped away from the lectern and said, "Strict military management standardization of supplies and finally on-site production for supply." That answer comes from the practical experience that soldiers and officers have gone through on the battlefield. As someone with no battlefield experience, how could you possibly know that? Den, realizing he might have overdone it, hesitated slightly before replying, "My father often told me about these things, sir." The professor asked curiously, "Your father, what is your name?" Den answered honestly, Den Sogret, sir." The professor was shocked that the student was from the Sogret family. He exclaimed, "You're the son of the Green Gale? That explains it." Then he reconsidered. If he's from the Sogret family, then he must be the student who passed the liberal arts major. No wonder. His level is already different from the other first years. The professor then turned back to the class and said, "Did you all hear that? The culmination of the military theory we will be learning is exactly what student Den Sogret just answered, applying theory that fits the practical situation. Based on the textbook's theory, this is the ultimate goal of military science." The whole class listened intently to the professor's words. The professor was silently feeling impressed by this fascinating student. He looked up and thought, Den Sogret. It's been a long time since such a brilliant student has appeared. The professor then moved on to the next part of the lesson. After class, Den was walking with a slightly annoyed expression, muttering, "That was a close call. I almost ended up in the graduate academy." He recalled the conversation he just had with the professor. He had asked Den, "Would you like to study military science in more depth?" Den thought back on their conversation. "He called me over right as class ended, and he even wanted to recommend a new student for the graduate academy. The professor seems a bit hasty." Den remembered what his second older sister had told him before he started school. If anyone recommends you for the Imperial Graduate Academy, just refuse flat out and walk away. Den silently thanked his sister for her helpful advice, but he knew that the military science professor probably wouldn't give up so easily. Den opened the academy map and said, "Right now, I need to get to my meeting spot with Layla." Den sighed to himself, "I still haven't gotten used to this academy map. It's so huge." He then looked for the place to meet Layla. It's at the Central Fountain Plaza, and the fastest way is through the garden. The Misty Garden is a place where even on a cloudy day, visibility is as limited as if it were foggy. So it's very easy to get lost and walk in circles. And since it's a large garden shrouded in thick fog, everyone avoids it. Plus there are rumors of ghosts appearing at night. But this garden doesn't seem so bad. Unlike what my eldest sister said, the weather is beautiful, so Den got here quickly, and the scenery is lovely too. Suddenly, a frantic voice cried out, catching Den's attention. "Ah, help! Is anyone there? Anyone, please help me!" Den stopped walking and looked around to see if anyone was there. He then realized the sound was coming from inside. He immediately ran to help, thinking, "Mom taught me that if someone is in danger, I should help them right away. There's still enough time before the next class, so I should be able to get them out." The cries for help continued until Den arrived at the scene where a boy was sitting on the floor. He was struggling with his huge bag and said, "Thank you. I thought I was going to be trapped in there forever." Den politely replied, "It's all right. Are you hurt anywhere?" The boy, whose glasses were crooked, answered sincerely, "Ah, I'm a little tired, but I'm okay." The boy began to introduce himself. "Oh, I'm Ernest. Ernest Dillon, a first year in the exploration department." Den asked doubtfully. "Huh? You're in the exploration department and you got lost." Ernest also answered honestly with an embarrassed laugh. "It's because I was so excited that I just started wandering around unconsciously." Den thought to himself, how excited do you have to be to get lost? Then Den started to ask more. "If you're a Baron Dillon, that's the family from the West, right? The crest is probably a ship and a sailor." Ernest replied excitedly, "Oh my gosh, you know about it. So what kind of family is it?" Den also replied cheerfully, "Yes, of course, they're the most famous family for exploration, right?" Ernest, happy and proud, replied, "That's right, my family has explored seas and strange lands." From one generation to the next, Den thought for a moment. "But for you, that seems a bit difficult." Ernest continued, "It's amazing that you know my family. What's your name?" "I'm Den Sogret." The other boy scratched his head cluelessly and asked, "Huh, so you're the new student who got into the liberal arts major after 55 years? Dem hesitantly agreed with the question. His friend Ernest got even more excited, adjusting his glasses and saying, "Oh my God, what luck, I've been dying to meet you even just once." Dem thought to himself, this guy seems a little too excited. Dem then took a closer look at his friend's body, thinking, he said he wasn't hurt, but what are all those bruises? And scars, too. They look very different from the kind you'd get from exploring. He looked suspiciously at his new friend. Then he asked, "Are you exploring this garden?" Ernest replied, "That's right, exploring gets me so excited." He then continued to share his passion. "Actually, for me, it's not just the garden, but everything new I encounter. It's all an exploration, not just this maze-like garden, but also people and objects." Then he showed Dem the jumble of things in his bag. "These are all my exploration tools." Ernest added, "My goal is to explore every single part of the academy. This foggy garden is, of course, one of those places. There's definitely something here. For the fog to be this thick on a cloudy day, isn't that illogical?" Dem was a little surprised by his friend's reasoning. Then he asked, "You're right. So have you found anything yet?" Ernest answered frankly, "Not yet. But I'm sure there's some kind of force in this garden." Dem asked again, "But isn't it true that no one has ever been able to figure it out?" Ernest shared his own view. "Right. But what if there's a reason no one has thought of trying? Or what if they have tried but still couldn't solve it?" Dem was taken aback by this. "Reasons why it can't be solved." Ernest frowned seriously and replied, "Exactly. We can't know for now. But let's suppose it's a power created by unknown elements or objects, like relics from a lost ancient kingdom or summoned beasts from beyond the horizon. What then?" Dem found the idea pretty cool and replied, "Relics from an ancient kingdom. That would be really interesting, huh?" Ernest was thrilled that his new friend was on the same page. He said excitedly, "You think so too, right? I really want to uncover that secret." Just then, Dem remembered he was on his way to a lecture. Startled, Ernest quickly packed up his bag and said, "Oh, sorry, we should get out of here." Then it suddenly started pouring rain. His friend Ernest panicked. "Oh no, this is bad. I heard that when it rains here, the fog gets even thicker." Dem also worried, asked, "What if that happens? It'll be really hard to get out, won't it?" Ernest replied anxiously, "Exactly. We'll completely lose our sense of direction." Then he took out his compass, his face growing even more worried. Ernest said in alarm, "Just as I thought, the compass isn't working. We can't move in these conditions." Dem asked Ernest, "Can't you figure this out with your exploration skills?" Ernest, getting annoyed, said, "An unknown force. Damn it, we're trapped. My body feels heavier too. What are we going to do?" Dem was struck by his last words. He froze, his mind racing. His friend was now squatting on the ground saying, "I'm sorry, Dem. This is all my fault." Dem replied kindly, "It's okay. Let's just wait here and see what happens." At that moment, Dem also sensed something very strange was happening. Somehow the fog felt familiar to him. Or was it just his imagination? On the contrary, Dem felt as if he was gaining a strange new strength. Dem looked down at his body, noticing the changes taking place. Ernest, now on the verge of tears with worry, cried out, "This is terrible! At this rate, Dem is going to be in danger!" Suddenly, a blue light appeared, making him stare with wide eyes in surprise. He saw the light was radiating from Dem, enveloping him. He was terrified by this incredible magical power. It was so overwhelming that Ernest could barely endure it. Then he watched as the fog began to dissipate, starting from Dem and spreading outwards. In that moment, Ernest was filled with awe and admiration. Then he asked Dem, "What in the world is happening?" Dem didn't answer his question. Instead, he just said, "Let's go, Ernest. I think I know the way out." Just then, Dem's eyes began to glow, tinged with a blue light. Ernest couldn't believe his ears and asked, "Really? How did you know?" At that moment, Nen thought to himself, "Maybe I can be the one to unravel the mystery of this place." Meanwhile, Ernest still couldn't understand what was happening, but he decided to follow Nen anyway. He couldn't help but marvel to himself, thinking, "This is the mysterious fog that so many mages have failed to navigate. But Nen can walk right through it like it's nothing. What's more, the fog parts wherever he goes, and the view becomes perfectly clear. He's truly an incredible guy." Ernest started to feel a little scared, wondering just what kind of powerful being his friend in front of him really was. Just then Nen told him, "We're almost there." Ernest happily replied, "Really? You found the way." He then looked up and saw at the center of the misty garden a magnificent and splendid place situated in the middle of a massive lake.